Yo, yo. What up to everyone joining right now? What up to everyone joining? We keeping our voice down tonight. But what's popping, everybody? I want to know, what would everyone have done if I didn't make it? If I didn't go live tonight, what would everyone have done? I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. All right, give me just a couple more minutes to sit up here. This will be about the voice I'm talking at tonight. I'm trying my best, motherfuckers. I'm trying my best. But I mean, we got quite a bit to talk about today. You know, we got three events to kind of go over, the big winners of the weekend, as I like to call it. You know, Usman Nurmagomedov getting the win over Alfie Davis. Um, arm triangle. We got one of their teammates becoming a champion too, retiring after winning the vacant title in the co-main event of the PFL Dubai event that Usman headlined. We got Mario Bautista, Kyoji Horiguchi getting dubs at UFC Vegas 13. What's next for him? A little injury update on Kyoji, all right? And then, injury update on Vinicius, the guy who lost to Mario in the main event. What else we got? We got, like someone's already mentioning in the chat, Lorenzo Hunt, big knockout, all right, over Mike Perry's rival, Dave Mundell, okay? Instantly calls out Mike Perry after his win. Hey, I think that's what's next because if Dave Mundell beat Lorenzo, best believe it would have been Mike Perry versus Dave Mundell. So Lorenzo wants Mike Perry after a big old knockout at BKFC Knucklemania 6. Then in the main event, Andrei Arlovsky, UFC heavyweight legend, former UFC heavyweight champion. He done it all. He did it again. And new BKFC heavyweight champion knocks out or gets a doctor stoppage win over the reigning champion Ben Rothwell. So that's what we're going to get into today. Also, special shout out Felony Bennett. Special shout out to Felony Bennett. Charles, shit, call him Charles Crazy Horse, Felony Bennett, whatever you want to call him. Charles Crazy Horse, Felony, whatever you want to call him. All right. Shout out to all the big winners over the weekend, and we will get into it shortly. Voice down, fam. Yeah, voice down tonight. Voice down tonight. I mean, I'm trying my best. We're gonna fight the evil with good. You feel me? I'm not gonna stoop to that bitch's level. We're gonna fight evil with good. And for the record, crazy enough, I'll just tell you guys this while I'm posting to my story. But so I hit the neighborhood gym last night. I had a little bit more time because Super Bowl was last night. I figured there's no point in going live. So I hit the neighborhood gym late night around like 8 p.m. or something. And I did cardio on the treadmill. And then I went into the men's bathroom slash like locker room because that's where the sauna is at my neighborhood gym. And guess who I ran into? Guess who I ran into at the neighborhood fucking sauna? The woman upstairs, her ex-husband. He was in there. He was in there. Her ex-husband. We were cool. We just chopped it up real quick and we kind of addressed what's been going on and not much to it other than there's no animosity between the two of us. And he understands both sides. You know, he's like, no, I get where my ex wife is coming from. She's kind of crazy, by the way. And then, I get where you're coming from. You want to talk, you want to do your thing. Hopefully, you guys can work it out. So that's pretty much it. But he's a cool guy. No animosity at all. So she probably hates that we're buddies now. Her two enemies are buddies. Me and the ex-husband, we're fucking teaming up against her ass. No, I'm just kidding. All right, couple more seconds here. But yeah, shout out to Jew. I see Jew in the chat saying they jumped my boy Mike. Yeah, bro, they jumped our boy. They jumped our boy. Eddie got his lick back in Philly. All right, what's the title? Mike Perry jumped by Eddie Alvarez at BKFC event. Let's just go event. Oh yeah, Bautista calls out Sandhagen. To be honest, I wasn't even sure if I'd go live tonight. All the bullshit going on, it already being late night. But you know what? I couldn't even help myself. I'm like, nah, we got to. We got to go live tonight. We got to. So here we are. For all the boys, for the streets. We live for the streets. All right, we got the link posted. Okay. Oh, and then on a side note, Joaquin Buckley just called out the whole welterweight division. Joaquin called out the whole welterweight division earlier this evening. So, and you already saw it if you follow the Instagram page. We collabed on that. Joaquin and I collabed on that. Out of all the MMA pages out there in the world, out there in the landscape, out there in the wild, there's only one MMA page that Joaquin Buckley collabs with, and it's your boy. It's your boy. So yeah, uh, Joaquin and I collabed on that post. Shout out to him. I'm just pulling up Instagram. I'm pulling up X right now. I'm pulling up YouTube. Give me one moment. Oh, damn. I'm seeing a report right now. Vinicius moving up to 45. Seeing a post right now about it. 11th ranked UFC bantamweight Vinicius just lost for the first time at 135 over the weekend and announces he will move to 145 from now on. Who should he fight next? Shit, I don't know, homie. Back to the drawing board you go. Hey, Thug. What up, Kevin from Chicago? What's poppin', homie? What's poppin' to everybody? Glad to see everybody up in here. Let's remove this and start a new one. Chrome. So not a big news day, but there is quite a few things to kind of go over on the evening. Not a big news day, but quite a few things to go over on the evening. Let's work our way. Let's work our way into Mike Perry. I almost don't want to like go over it right off the back. You feel me? I don't know why. Usually I do kind of bury the lead right off the bat. Just we go for the lead story, but not necessarily in the mood to run the Mike Perry story yet. Why don't we go through the whole BKFC event? We'll finish off with the brawl with Mike Perry. Then we'll work into UFC Vegas 13 or 113 recap. And then we'll work into PFL Dubai recap. Then we'll get into Joaquin Buckley calling out the welterweight division. We'll look at this fighter who pulled a Mike Tyson and bit off his fucking opponent's ear, then got jumped in the crowd. So that's the plan. That's the plan for the evening. Yeah, that's the plan for the evening. I mean, if you guys want to talk about the Super Bowl or something like that, we could talk about that later. But I don't got too many thoughts on the Super Bowl, if I'm being honest. Anyone else have like what do you guys think? You guys like enraged about the Super Bowl? You got like no thoughts on it like me? Like what am I supposed to think about the Super Bowl halftime performance? Is there something I'm supposed to be upset about? I be seeing everybody upset about this Super Bowl halftime performance, and I'm just wondering like, I watched it and is it just because he's not American or like what's everyone so fucking like up in arms about? Unbroken says, yes, let's not blow our load so quickly. Work into it like a proper agent. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to work into it. We easing into it. All right. We teasing it. Drew says Super Bowl was gay like it is every year. Straight up. I mean, if you guys are wondering whether or not I watched it, honestly, I didn't watch it. I honestly didn't watch it. Nothing against the Super Bowl. It's just like, I was home during the day. I was getting some grinding done. I hit the gym, you feel me? Went to like a little family get together for, my nephew's birthday. I came home around the Super Bowl time and I just took a nap, bro. I just took a nap. I'd rather take a nap than watch the Super Bowl. Jew says the halftime show has always been gay with a hidden political agenda. Yeah, what's the hidden political agenda? I mean, like, I'm just kind of slow, you feel me? I'm a UFC guy through and through. I can't watch football anymore. Yeah, I mean, what are we watching with football? Watching them try to get 10 yards? I get it. Sometimes the catches are kind of dope. You know what I mean? The catches are kind of dope at times. I'm really not a football guy anymore. I was at one point in my life, but I'm not really a football guy anymore at all. Not at all. Anytime I try to watch football, bro, I just like space out within like 5 minutes. Ruby Z says Bad Bunny halftime versus Kid Rock halftime. Kevin saying, let's enjoy this and enjoy my sub badge. Yeah, enjoy the sub badges, boys. I see the sub badges in the chat. Friendly reminder, you know what I mean? Or become a member. Become a member. I mean, the Joaquin Buckley unreleased interview, I'll probably drop it on members only tomorrow. I'll wrap up editing it tomorrow. I'll drop it on there for you boys. Exclusive members only drop. Sorry for the wait. Sorry for the wait. All right. But exclusive members only drop most likely end of day tomorrow. And then I'll be dropping clips from the Buckley interview throughout the week. So you guys will still have the exclusive all week long until Sunday when I probably drop the full thing. So that'll be the plan. Special shout out to all the members in the chat. All right. Thanks for becoming members. And I guess let's get into it now. Let's get into it now. So, I mean, let's just go to YouTube. But before we go to the BKFC post-fight press conference, is there a way to see Lorenzo Hunt calling out Mike Perry after his win? Is there a way to see that? Maybe BKFC has it. Yeah, it got to be from Dazen. Come on, they're not going to show Lorenzo Hunt calling out Mike Perry. That's crazy work. They need to work on that. Maybe it's on Instagram. Is there an article somebody wrote about it? Everybody like the stream. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Here we are talking in our fucking library voices. Sorry for the lag. But I want to kind of... Here we go, finally. It's only a picture. Gosh dang, bro. We got to get the call out. Why can't you guys post Lorenzo Hunt's call out? I mean, I'm actually infuriated that they didn't post his call out. Okay, here it is. Here it is, motherfuckers. Finally, we got it. Finally, we got it. Sorry for the wait. All right, so over the weekend, Lorenzo Hunt knocks Dave Mundell dead. I believe in the... What round was it? Fourth round. Fourth round, Lorenzo Hunt. It was a good fight. You know, it was a good fight while it lasted. It was fairly back and forth. If you didn't watch it, you might think Dave Mundell just got set up and he got destroyed here. And Dave Mundell did take it on short notice. But Dave Mundell definitely had a few moments in this fight. It wasn't just a walkover. But I mean, Lorenzo Hunt put his ass out like basically cold, bro. Basically as good as cold in the fourth round. Big overhand right, popped him, put him down, did not want to continue, fight over. Okay, I believe this was for the number one pound for pound BKFC fighter spot. Lorenzo Hunt is now the number one pound for pound BKFC fighter in the world. And I believe he's the cruiserweight champion. He got a belt now, too. So let's take a look at this knockout. Juice says, I'm a casual when it comes to UFC. I got you, homie. That's why I'm going to give you the full context. Boom. Look at him. It's so nice. We got to see it twice, and we got to see it in slow mo, as a matter of fact. I mean, it's so nice. We got to see it twice in slow mo. Let's go half speed on this one. Let's go half speed. Lorenzo Hunt knocking Dave Mundell dead with the right hand with the right hand down the fucking pipe. One more time. Down the fucking pipe, bro.
Dave Mundell gets the separation.
Chain Firing says, Jacob, show him the Mike Perry comeback KO. You got to show these casuals. Chain Firing says, Hunt usually tries to go for sneaky strikes, and that's what he did. So many KOs. Yeah, I mean, Lorenzo Hunt got a ton of KOs, bro. He got a ton of KOs. And you're talking about the Mike Perry versus Mike Richmond. Okay, okay. But for right now, we're breaking down this in chronological order. So I'll get to the Mike Perry versus Mike Richmond knockout. But Lorenzo Hunt knocks Dave Mundell dead. This is Mike Perry's number one op in BKFC is Dave Mundell. You guys need to know that. Mike Perry's number one op in BKFC is Dave Mundell. Oh, Chain Firing saying Mike Richmond. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I got you, Chain Firing. Yes. Lorenzo Hunt did knock out Mike Richmond. Yes, I got you. That was not Mike Perry. All right. So after the fight, Lorenzo Hunt, he calls out Mike Perry. And for the record, Lorenzo Hunt and Mike Perry were sparring partners in like 2024. They sparred for a little bit in preparation for one of the Knucklemania events, the one where Lorenzo, I think, he got injured against a heavyweight fighter, the champion at the time. So my point of mentioning that is that Lorenzo's calling out Mike, but him and Mike aren't really number one ops like that. They're actually pretty cool, and they got a relationship outside BKFC. Lorenzo's also going to say, like, I'm the one who talked to you like man to man as homies, telling you should bring your talents over here. Now you're over here. Now you're acting like the big dog. You never won a belt, right? I'm a 2 division champion, 2-time champion at a certain weight class that I don't know off the top of my head, but he regained his title in the weight class that he once lost it in, or at least vacated it, whatever the case was, however he lost that title. So he's basically telling Mike, now you're ignoring me. You know what I mean? I told you to come here. You came here. You're walking around this place like you're the man. You never been a champion, right? The King of Violence belt isn't a real belt. All right, you never been a champion. Why are you ignoring me? Why are you acting like I don't exist? I didn't think that Lorenzo wanted to fight Mike. I thought they were buddies from sparring. I guess Lorenzo needs that fade. All right, so let's hear the call out.
I reached out to him in 2020 when he was on the couch after beating up some old guy in a restaurant and the UFC let him go. I said, come to bare knuckle. Dave will give you a chance. Now he's here and he's acting like he don't know who the fuck I am.
Shout out to Lorenzo, bro. Shout out to fucking Lorenzo. All right. Homie is the number one crash out in BKFC, and I absolutely love it. I mean that with all due respect. Look at Mike Perry even commenting, saying hilarious. Lorenzo Hunt crash outs. I mean, I live for these things.
That's not fair. I'm the king of violence. I had 6 knockouts when you came here. Mike Perry owes me a shot.
So you heard it. You heard it first, right? One more time with that. One more time with that. Now, after the fight, all right, big cosign. Lorenzo Hunt gets the big cosign from Conor McGregor, Mr. BKFC owner. Lorenzo Hunt gets the big cosign from none other than Mr. fucking McGregor, BKFC owner. Crazy. Conor said this, in all of this promotion at BKFC, start to finish, the best and most exciting watch in all of combat sports. All right? Peep Conor's reaction to the knockout.
Oh my God. Straight down the pipe. Wow. That's oh my God, that's warriors, boys, yeah? These boys are warriors.
And 29 seconds into round number 4. For your winner, by KO, and your undisputed
Cars keep watching.
#1
Pound for pound. That was a fight for a pound for pound. Mundell came up last minute. Man, you know what? The juggernaut. That's what. Whoa!
Gonna crash out on Dave Mundell's team here in a minute. Just keep watching.
Wow, it's ferocious. It's ferocious. Fought him last minute there. I mean, he stepped in last minute. There should be respect there. Let's see. Let's see.
I'm standing right here with your winner, Lorenzo Hunt. He gets it done, #1 pound for pound in the world today. I know you want to talk about it. Lorenzo, congratulations. That was a hell of a fight.
Nah, he's a special man, this juggernaut. You know that? As far as bare knuckle fighting is concerned, this man is one of the most unique I've come across. That's out straight.
I mean, that's a big cosign from Big McGregor right there. That is a massive cosign from McGregor. What Lorenzo's getting right there. You got to admit it. You got to give it to the guy. You know what I mean? Dude is legit. Lorenzo Hunt, homie is BKFC. All right, homie is fucking BKFC.
I'm just a regular guy as a coach of John. I showed up to David Feldman's trials. He gave me a shot. And I am the best bare-knuckle fighter in the world.
Wow! Wow!
You recently had an interaction with Mike Perry just yesterday. You talked about him not being a real champion, being the king of violence. You talked about him getting the title. That being said, would you be willing to put your title on the line against his title? Versus your title, the Cruiserweight Championship. Are you willing?
It's never happening, bro. Mike's not.
Calls me a shot. I reached out to him in 2020 when he was on the couch after beating up some old guy in a restaurant and the UFC let him go. I said, come to bare knuckle. They will give you a chance.
Nah, they said. Nah, you can't. You rang him to help him out. That's not fair. Wow! Ah! Ah! Yes, man! Ah! Redneck, yo, I love you, brother. You are fearless. Nah, come on, that's a respect. He's still in the mix. This man is still in the mix. He's up away here. This isn't his way.
All right, so they want to put, Lorenzo Hunt's Cruiserweight Championship on the line with Mike Perry's King of Violence title. I see Drew saying they're really trying to force Mike to fight for a belt. Honestly, what else can they do with Mr. Mike? What else can they do with Mike at this point? I think it's time, Drew. Honestly, and then Lorenzo beating his number one op in BKFC. I'm telling you, Dave Mundell, Mike Perry's number one op in BKFC. If Dave Mundell won that shit, Mike Perry was 100,000% fighting Dave Mundell. Why do you think Mike was even front row at the event? It wasn't for Andrei Arlovsky versus Ben Rothwell. It was for fucking Lorenzo Hunt. Now, kind of surprising that McGregor's kind of like, no, never happening. You versus Mike Perry, never happening. What the fuck, Connor? If you want the most viral build up to a BKFC fight/event of all time, you put Mike Perry and fucking Lorenzo Hunt up against each other for both belts. I mean, you're throwing away money if you don't do that. You're just throwing it away. Neither guy can help themselves get ahead. Or how do I put this? Neither guy can help themselves when it comes to getting a headline, meaning they just fucking they ooze headlines, bro. They ooze it. Anything they do draws up a headline. We've just been talking about Lorenzo Hunt for like 15, 20 minutes now. All right. But go look and see all of his other past press conferences. Lorenzo Hunt is a headline machine, a headline magnet. All right. Put him in front of a camera for 30 minutes. You're going to get at least 10 clips out of that. Put Mike Perry in front of a camera for 30 minutes. You're going to get at least 10 clips out of that. That's my point. All right. And they both got belts, Cruiserweight Championship, former, I think, light heavyweight champion, talking about Lorenzo Hunt, going against the former UFC fighter, going against the King of Violence champion, Mike Perry. Come on, bro. Come on. It'll be headlines galore. It needs to be booked. Now, couple other things to go over real quick. We're taking our time here. We're taking our time. We're enjoying. No speed rush. So,
There's somebody up here who do you want?
at the press conference, so Lorenzo's been on Mike Perry's ass, right? Lorenzo been on Mike Perry's bumper for a minute now. Jew says Lorenzo at 205 or even fought at heavyweight before. Oh yeah, Jew. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jew. He is. He is. He is. You're not wrong, Jew, but come on. This is the BKFC now. This is BKFC now. If Mike Perry's gonna be scary over a little bit of weight, bro, come on, bro. This is the BKFC. Hey, shout out to Chain Firing Mech Warrior. He says, apart from Jacob's great interview with Lorenzo, Matt Hoffa's interview with Lorenzo Hunt was insightful too. It was cool to see him describe the problems he had to go through to make weight for Lombard. Oh, got you. Hey, you guys should watch both of them. If you watch mine and then you watch Matt Hoffa's interview, I mean, you'll probably know everything there is to know about Lorenzo. Because I covered a lot of stuff about Lorenzo in that interview too. His upbringing and his career in the BKFC and some of the viral moments up to that point. But anyway, Lorenzo been on Mike Perry's bumper, right, all week. Here's an old clip from the press conference leading up to the fight. This past week, Lorenzo Hunt pressing Mike Perry, wanting all the smoke.
Want to be a world champion, Mike Perry? Do you want to be a world champion? There's somebody up here who isn't a champion. Did anybody spot the pretender? There's one guy up here who's not a champion. Ain't no champ unless I say so. This is not a champion. But I got one. I got one. I don't even want it. You want it? Get it. Become a world champion, Mike Perry. Do you want to be a world champion, Mike Perry? Do you want to be a world champion, Mike Perry? Do you want to be a world champion? Do you want to be a world champion, boy? You gonna have to fight a baby.
These guys aren't even fighting yet, and look at the fucking animosity. I told you, Lorenzo Hunt literally cannot help himself. This dude a full-on fucking junkyard dog. And guess what Mike Perry is? The same fucking thing, bro. He might be a little bit more... He might be a little bit less unhinged than Lorenzo, but Lorenzo fully unhinged. Mike Perry about 75% unhinged. Let's put it like that. Two junkyard dogs, bro. They not even fighting yet, and look at this.
You're going to have to fight a real man eventually. Do you want to be a world champion?
No,
you want to be a world champion, little boy?
My king of violence is as real as he gets.
You want to be a
My
world
king
champion?
of violence is as real as he
You
gets.
want to be a world
You
champion?
better pay attention to your pockets.
You will
That's
never
why
be a
I'm
world
the king of
champion.
violence, because I make the most money in the company because I handle my shit in order how it's
Tell 'em what
supposed
you
to
wanna
go.
do.
You better take care of your
my
life
belt.
work tomorrow.
Get my belt.
Now, honestly, I don't want to offend Lorenzo Hunt because I would actually love to interview him, and I have reached out for an interview after his win on Saturday. But, you know, I think people are kind of riding off Mike Perry. I'm actually not sure what you guys think. You know, drop it in the chat. Like, you know, you got Mike Perry winning, you got Lorenzo Hunt winning that shit. You know, this is the time where you guys drop that in here now. But honestly, in the previous sparring video I saw between Lorenzo and Mike, you know, I thought Mike got the better of Lorenzo. I really did. I really thought Mike got the better of Lorenzo. So, you know, on top of that, let's run through some of the other finishes at BKFC as far as the fights go, as far as post-fight goes. Then we're going to get into the press conference, all right? Then we'll get into the press conference.
Standing round two. Standing round two. Keep him close, Barely right hand on the step in. Right hand again on Arlovski now stepping forward. Rothwell paused to listen to referee Andrew Glenn. Fair play to Arlovski. He stepped in and landed the right hand.
And Rothwell lucky. Probably could have called that a knockdown. The ribs might have stopped him from
Standing round two.
Keep him close,
And Dr. Don Muzzi. Just in a bad spot that's leading to
See that 7 right there?
the one on the eye.
That ended the fight.
I think this might be it.
This fight is over. We have a new world champion. It is Andre Arlovski.
So and new BKFC heavyweight champion, the old dog, Andrei Arlovsky. I think there one clip. Just some of the highlights from the fight. Yeah, so Andrei Arlovsky beats down the heavyweight champ Ben Rothwell. Beat him down good. So congrats to Andrei Arlovsky. Becomes the BKFC heavyweight champion at what age? Let's find out. And also it's a bye week on UFC this week, so we'll see how the news week goes, but we should be all right. We don't need UFC events to make all of our news. I'm sure we'll get some stuff going. Yeah, so Arlovsky knocks out Ben Rothwell at 47 years old to become the BKFC heavyweight champion, former UFC heavyweight champion. So congratulations to Andrei Arlovsky. Now he had a few words to say after the win, speaking on his battles with cancer, overcoming them. So really, this is all you got to hear right here. He said, people who are in the battle right now with fucking cancer, don't fucking give up. I'm a great fucking example. 3 times cancer survivor. Keep fucking fighting. Life is beautiful. All right. I'm going to play the clip now, but just shout out to fucking Andrei Arlovsky, becoming the heavyweight champion at 47 years old, 3-time cancer survivor, former UFC heavyweight champion. All right. Legend in every sense of the word. I mean, living legend right here. 3-time cancer survivor, former UFC heavyweight champion, Andrei Arlovsky.
Most important, guys, people who in a battle right now with the fucking cancer, don't fucking give up. I'm a great fucking example. 3 times cancer survivor. Keep fucking fight. Life is beautiful. The Arlovsky method, baby.
So shout out to Arlovsky, man. One thing I do want to just see though. Okay, so Arlovsky beat Ben Rothwell, right? But who did Ben Rothwell beat to become the heavyweight champ? Exactly who I thought he beat, Mick Terrell, right? And who did Mick Terrell beat? Not to become the heavyweight champ, but Mick Terrell defended his heavyweight title against Lorenzo Hunt. Lorenzo Hunt dislocated his arm in the first round at Knucklemania 4. This was that event I was talking about where Lorenzo and Mike Perry trained together in 2024 before their fights on this card. So check it out. See, Knucklemania 4 in LA was headlined by Mike Perry and Thiago Alves, UFC legend Thiago Alves. And it was co-main evented by Mick Terrell and Lorenzo Hunt for the heavyweight title. Lorenzo Hunt was going for his 3rd belt here. He was already a cruiserweight and light heavyweight champion. Already a cruiserweight and light heavyweight champion, he was going for his 3rd belt. He dislocated his arm in the first round. Now, obviously it goes for as a win for Mick Terrell, but Lorenzo could find himself fighting for a heavyweight title again in the future, hopefully the near future if he wants it. And, you know, he's going to speak about it in the post-fight press conference. He's basically going to say, you know, I wasn't really looking forward to challenging Ben Rothwell, big old fucking Ben, for his heavyweight title. But now that Andrei Arlovsky just beat Big Ben, who previously dethroned Mick Terrell, I like my odds against Andrei Arlovsky. All right, he's not as big as Big Ben. So that'll be crazy MMA math because people would think, well, Lorenzo Hunt lost to Mick Terrell, who, you know, lost to Ben Rothwell, who lost to Andrei Arlovsky. So how the fuck is Lorenzo Hunt going to beat Arlovsky, the guy who beat him? Well, that's why MMA math don't even work. All right, so don't even bother doing those mental gymnastics because that was difficult just to say. Anyway, I do think Lorenzo Hunt, you know, he got some decent odds against a guy like Andrei Arlovsky. At least I'd like to see it. So before we get into the press conference, there's one other knockout we must go over. It cannot be overshadowed. And I think you guys know which one it is. Charles Crazy Horse Felony Bennett back in the win column. I saw some stat like he was 1-25 before this knockout. So, you know, Felony Bennett. All right, so Felony Bennett gets the knockout. I want to see a longer video. Okay, let's watch this one. Actually, is it on IG? Yeah, here's Felony Bennett's knockout. Peep it. What's poppin', Cupcake? We just reacting to the fights over the weekend, speaking on some of the big winners. What's next? We're about to get into the BKFC post-fight press conference, and believe me, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for a BKFC press conference. And, of course, the man on the screen right now, Felony Bennett, stole the show. Last through the ropes. Boom. Hey, speaking of chain firing Mech Warrior, at the end of the stream, I'm gonna buy you guys some memberships too. Or not chain fire Meg Warrior. Speaking of Cupcake saying thank you to whoever gifted the membership. I think it might have been Dun Daughter who gifted you the membership. I'm not sure. But I owe people memberships at the end of the stream. So I will be buying them for you guys. I owe like 6 of you. Not 6 of you. I think I owe 4 people membies. I owe 4 people membies. So I'm gonna buy you guys those memberships at the end of the stream. I might have to put my card into YouTube to do it, but we'll get that done. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the BKFC post-fight press conference, starting with Lorenzo Hunt. So Lorenzo going to talk about, calling out Mike Perry. He's also going to talk about fighting potentially Andrei Arlovski in the future. So let's hear what Mr. Lorenzo got to say. Mr. Ain't No Champ Unless I Say So.
He's the best to ever do it at this point.
And then we're going to get into the Mike Perry getting jumped. So everybody in here, once this press conference is over, we will peep the Mike Perry getting jumped by Eddie Alvarez footage and Mike Perry's responses to it. So let's take a look.
So he's going to sit down and we're going to take some questions. Just raise your hand and I'll come right over to you. Oh, all the hands are going up. All right.
Space Kid said, isn't that Crazy Horse? Yes, Charles Bennett is Crazy Horse. Charles Bennett is Crazy Horse.
You ready for this, Lorenzo? Number 1 pound for pound. First, how do you feel, man? That's amazing.
I feel great.
Mike.
Wait, before we even start this, so I don't interrupt it midway, although I will interrupt it if I have to, but everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button right now. There's only 11 likes on the stream. We need to run up the likes, all right? Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. We live every night. All right.
Some good news today. I'm going to be a granddad.
Hey!
I got some good news today. I'm going to be a granddad, so we got to get this show on the road, bro. I'm about to be a pop.
Sorry to break this to you, but we can't have a grandfather's champion.
Grandfather.
You're out.
Grandpa Juggernaut. I love it. All right, here we go.
Hey, Lorenzo, Brian from FightingYo.com. You were on our podcast not too long ago, and we were just talking about this, you fighting Mundell, and it was supposed to happen earlier, but it happened now. How do you feel now after the fight and being pound for pound number 1?
I feel amazing. I am exactly what I say I am. I don't mince words. I don't lie. I give it to you raw and real. And most of these guys that I talk to, they just refuse to believe. They're full of themselves, so they don't have any room for me. They don't have any room for the truth. They don't have any room for what I bring to the table. So they just assume I'm a pretender. I've never pretended. This has always been me. That's why it's so easy.
Lorenzo, Savage Combat Sports Media here. First of all, congratulations. And I don't want to go too far out, but you did call out Mike Perry. Are you looking for that King of Violence belt? You called it a trinket. Do you really want that? And now, being the pound for pound, when you say ain't no champ, it means it.
Listen, it always meant it. I've been the pound for pound champ since I came here. I've been the pound for pound champ for years, right? Everything that was taken from me, I will take it back. I will never stop. Don't you know what juggernaut means? That's what it means. It's not that toy. It's not Kane. It's not X-Man. It means an unstoppable force. There's nothing you can do to me. Bring a gun!
Juggernaut, congratulations on the win. Jeremy with throwing hands. Juggernaut, you just took off the middleweight championship. The champion, and you've went through the 185 champ. You've been the 205 champ. There isn't a whole lot left for you other than the heavyweight champ and maybe the King of Violence. How satisfied are you now with your title? Best to ever do it?
When someone walks up to you and say, ain't no champ unless I say so, well, then why would you wave your belt in his face and pretend he's going to let it slide? I never had any beef with Dave Mundell. I've known Dave Mundell a very, very long time. He's been nothing but respectful. And even if he or his team didn't like me, Dave Mundell always kept his space, and he was always cordial. It's a shame that we had to knock each other off because we both were BKFC original OGs. Like, it's all love here in the BKFC. We're family. I kind of wish it didn't have to go that way because I would have liked to shine beside him, not necessarily overtake him. And he's still a champ at 175, so we'll see where it goes. If Mike Perry ever wants to be a real, true world champion in this sport, he's going to have to either fight me or he's going to have to fight Dave Mundell. There's nowhere else to hide. And Dave Mundell's no chump. He rocked me. He caught me. So that would be a good fight either there for Mike Perry or either with me. I want to get paid.
Lorenzo, this is Crazy Kev here. Just wanted to ask you, how inspiring was Charles Felony Bennett's performance tonight watching that?
Oh, that was awesome. That got me real nice and crunk because it's hard to look at him and bet on him or, like, give him the thumbs up. You just never know what he's going to do. You never know which felony is going to show up. But I have been a long-time fan of him. I want to say since I was young, but he's just been fighting forever. So sometimes he shows up, and it's an amazing show, and I'm glad he's here, and I'm glad Dave was able to see through all of that and bring Felony along for the ride.
Juggernaut, congratulations on the win tonight. What desire do you have to be a three-weight champion and go up to heavyweight and test Andre?
There is no higher accolade than being the heavyweight champion of the world. I will someday be the heavyweight champion of the world. And to be honest with you, I think I had a better chance of beating Andre Arlovski than Ben Rothwell. I'm just going to say that officially. Like, I didn't want to have to fight Ben. You know what I mean? but I'm glad Arlovski took him out, and maybe I can get that shot at Arlovski. I think it'd be an awesome fight. No one can take my power. No one can take what I'm throwing. Simple as that. So, it's just a matter of seeing if I can overcome the length and the skill level and see if I can get this hand on his chin. And he's going to sleep.
What's up, Juggernaut? Chris, Combat Loop MMA. I want to talk to you about your little secret weapon. I think Elvin Brito over here is doing something for you. I don't know what you guys got cooking on because you look like a 25-year-old with all that power. Let me tell you, that speed out there, really, that was the most surprising thing. It's not really surprising anymore, anything, but, man, you look fast out there, fast. You were whipping them punches, dude.
I've been underestimated my entire life. Just because you haven't seen how fast I am or don't believe how fast I am doesn't mean you can sign a contract to fight me under your own delusion. Just because you see me slip and stumble don't mean you will be able to make me slip and stumble. Just because you see someone knock me down don't mean you will be able to knock me down. So you guys are going to have to really address yourself. Stop watching those videos of me in slow-mo and thinking you can beat me. I'm faster than you think. I'm stronger than you think. I train harder than you think. I put it all on the line. And so I'm here, and they're there.
Lorenzo, Mish from the Mike and Mish show right here.
What up?
We were told that the heavyweight champion is the only free ticket into the $25 million tournament. With 15 fights in the company and being the greatest of all time to do it, do you believe that you should have a free ticket into that tournament?
I doubt that that's true. I'm the only free ticket into the tournament, bruh. What is you talking about? I have 15 fights. I have 11 knockouts. Heavyweight what? He's 2-1? It's me, baby. The tournament is for me. I am the baddest man. How can you have a baddest man alive tournament without the baddest man alive? Let's work.
All right, and we've got one more for Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt before we let him go celebrate.
Lorenzo, great performance. Ivan Kordovich, Knuckles and Knives podcast. Lorenzo, if you could speak to the next generation of fighters who look up to you, what message would you want to leave them with?
To the fighters, I'll say whatever you do, whatever you love, do it with all your heart. Do it regardless of what anyone else tells you, regardless of what anyone else says. You stick with it. You stick it out until you become a master. If you do anything long enough, it will become magic to regular people, and that's your ticket. But if you don't love it, if you're just in it for money, if you're just in it for to be a star or whatever, don't come here, because it's people like me who've been doing it their whole life, and I will knock your ass out. So go to school. But if you love it, if you love this, then you do it, and you don't ever stop, and you do it when no one's looking. You do it in the dark. You do it in the daytime. You do it in the morning. You do it at night. You dream about it. But if this ain't it, if you want to be an influencer, if you want to be something else, if you want to come here and be tough, nah, go be an ambulance driver. Go be a nurse. Go be a doctor, because it's a lot of guys need fixed up right now, and you'll have a job. Like, don't do this.
Well, he's #1 pound for pound in the world. He's going to keep doing. Congratulations to Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt. Big win tonight.
Ain't no champ. Ain't no champ. Ain't no champ. Ain't no champ. Unless I say so.
Oh, he proved it yet again. Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt, the best to ever do it. Congratulations, champ. Give it up for Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt. All right, next up, another guy. He's on the fast track to success here. He's the pride of South Philadelphia. Another big win from him again tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him up here. It's Johnny Cannoli Garbarino. Once again, it's Johnny Cannoli Garbarino. Put your hands up. We'll come by and get a question.
Don't get nuts. Come on.
First question, I'm going to ask it. Where are you going to get your cannolis to celebrate? You going to go get some tomorrow? What's going to happen?
Varallo's.
That's right. That's the place around here.
The best.
Hey,
all right, let me fix my fucking library voice real quick. Before we get into the felony press conference, let me give you guys an update on the Membies. I just gifted out 4 Membies, and you know what? To the people who I promised, I guess I owe you an apology. I did not know you can't choose who to gift it to. All right, so fuck, that's my bad. But I just gifted out the 4 that I promised, but there's no way for me to gift it to you in particular. So, you know what? That's just my bad, Sorry about that. I guess we're both taking L's on that one. I was wrong about that. But, yeah, that's just my bad. I got to acknowledge it. So if I promised you a Memby and you're not getting it, there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? I can't buy 100 memberships till you get the 1. So sorry about that again. That's my bad. Didn't mean to make a promise I couldn't fulfill. But I did still buy 4 memberships. All right, so there's 4 new members. Get your membies now. $4.99. I think it's $6.99 on YouTube, but just know I put $4.99, and for some reason it says $6.99. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, shout out to MMA Rio saying the channel is fantastic. Really, Jacob, do a great job or a good job. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. MMA Rio, I wish I could have given you a memby, homie. I wish. All right, let's listen to Felony Bennett. Get ready for the funniest press conference of 2025, probably.
How y'all niggas doing?
We're good, brother. We're good.
Charles, this is Crazy Kev here. Just wanted to ask you, talk to us a little bit more about the entrance. I mean, what was that, man? And what was also that Burger King hat? I mean, talk to me more about that as well.
Fucking nigger, bitch! Nigger! Hey, so I don't know if y'all seen the viral clip of old boy in the on the airplane. Yeah, fuck, man, I like that guy. Just some funny stuff to do.
All right, man, I've been around MMA.
I know, Space Kid. I know, homie. I know. I promised you it. And Dun Daughter, I know I promised it to you too. Believe me, I don't like that just happened. You know what? It's actually kind of bullshit that I have to buy them in the first place. Oh, and also, for the record, if you guys do want to get gifted memberships in the future, you got to turn it on. You got to turn on allow gifts on YouTube. It's a YouTube setting. I don't know where you find it, but maybe Google it. But if you want to be eligible to be gifted a memby, you got to have your gifts turned on. You got to have it allow gift memberships on your account, or else you're never going to get gifted a random memby. So, food for thought. Turn on allow gifts. Turn on allow gifts, or else you're not going to get gifted one. Let's continue.
Hey, I've been around fighting for such a long time. Coming into this event, you're one of the people I wanted to see for so long, and I got to fulfill my dreams over here, getting to see you knock someone out. How does that feel, being your age, being still able to go out there and be like a dog?
Well, my girlfriend's 25, I'm 50. I'm only as young as the girl I'm dating, so, nigga, that makes me 25, and I'm around here doing stuff.
Honestly, that makes perfect sense to me, if I may say so myself. I mean, I think Charles Felony Bennett figured out the secret to life on how to become Benjamin Button. You are as young, or you are as old as the woman you are dating. He's definitely onto something here. I mean, shout out to Felony.
You feel me?
I feel you,
So,
homie.
yeah, man, yeah, that was pretty fun, wasn't it? But I actually trained for this fight. I went out to Vegas and trained with my nigga King David MMA. Yes. He's somewhere in here. I don't know where he's at, but he's in here.
Hey, Felony, how does Felony Bennett celebrate a victory in Philadelphia tonight?
Well, I would tell you, but my girlfriend might be watching, So.
You want to tell us?
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. I'm a pussy hair loving nigga, so. With that being said, my girl knows I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be doing, because she's got a hairy one. So we're going to, look, that might be her calling me now.
Charles, Crazy Kev again.
A pussy hair loving N-word is the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. Takes you a second just to realize what he's saying. A pussy hair loving N-word.
Just wanted to ask as well. I mean, you're living with Hulk Hogan's nephew as well. I mean, talk a bit more about what that experience is kind of like.
Oh, man, that nigga cool as hell, man. King David MMA, man, Instagram. King David MMA. Y'all be sure to go check that nigga out, but that nigga's cool as hell. And to be honest, it's an opportunity to go stay with him. I stayed with him for a whole month prior to this fight. I trained with him every day. And on some days, I didn't go to the gym. But I knew that I should have went when I went the next day, because he really beat me up and all this good stuff. But, yeah, man, it's really cool to be hanging out with King David MMA at his big, nice house.
Of course.
Charles over here, Savage Combat Sports Media. First of all, congratulations on starting a new career here in bare knuckle.
Oh, nigga, I've been here.
I wanted to ask, how are you staying in such good shape at your age? And are you the oldest bare knuckle fighter we got right now?
Well,
I'm not even gonna say it for him. I'll let him say it.
my girlfriend is 25. I'm 50. So, I mean, you do the math on that. She's young, so, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I keep in good shape. I mean, if you got, if you're married and your wife is 60 and you're 55, then I would just advise you to, tell your wife, let's bring something young home. And she might want a divorce, but hey, I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Hey, Charles, congratulations on the big win. It's been 5 years since you've been back in the BKFC ring. How did it feel like to be in front of this crowd and knock the rust off?
Oh, man, it was 18,000 people, man. I'm already scared. When I walk out the door, I hope these niggas don't try to rush me because I ain't make no money. That's why I'm walking around with my cash app on my shirt, you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all hit that, Rent due. Lights about to get turned off. Hey, Conor McNigger, I need your lawyer, man. I need your lawyer. My lawyer felt the need. He didn't have to fight for me, so I need your lawyer, Conor McNigger. Get at me, bro.
All right, there he is, felony Charles Bennett.
Conor McN-word. You gotta love felony Bennett. Conor McN-word is just crazy. He a pussy loving N-word. Conor McN-word. I mean, shout out fucking felony, bro. I wish this guy would literally be here forever.
And a big win. Stand up so they can see your shirt. Open it up. Let the people at home click that QR code. There goes the chair.
All his mug shots with his Cash App on there.
It's always, don't hurt yourself. All right. Hey, big win for you tonight. Congratulations. Get up for a guy. Show that QR code off. Click it at home. Help him pay his rent. Everything he's talking about. It's good stuff. Give it up for, thank you, Charles. Thank you for being here.
Shout out to motherfucking Franklin in the chat. $50 dono. Roulette run holla. Let's go, Franklin. Hey, I mean, the color of your super chat is closer to red than it is black. So I don't know if that's a sign of what color to put it on the roulette table, Franklin. I don't know if you're going a number. I don't know if you're going a color. But I mean, the color that your super chat came in as is closer to red than it is black. That might be a sign, homie. But thanks again, Franklin. Roulette run holla, $50 super chat. Good luck, homie. Good luck. Good luck, Franklin. We with you, homie. We with you on that one. Let us know if you win it. Kevin saying gang shit for sure. Franklin says just had to restart phone to send super chat. Well, thank you, homie. You know it's always appreciated. We're sending. Send it, homie. Let us know how it goes. Franklin says thank you. Hope he sends me $1. Shout out Unbroken.
Here. All right, next up, a big night, a rematch. He comes out on top. I'm talking about the UK's best.
All right.
Now,
let's just hear from Andrei Arlovsky. Then we'll get into the UFC Vegas 113 post-fight presser.
he is the Pitbull, Andrei Arlovsky. Congratulations. There's a mic there. Make sure you talk. It's right there for you. Yeah, we know you won. Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you. Thank
All
you.
right, first question right over here.
Congratulations, Andrei. You've been through a lot, getting through cancer. It's been 20 years since you defended your last UFC belt. Tonight, you win the BKFC title. Which is the bigger win?
Listen, every win is like it's a win. It's like very warm and close to my heart. But when I left UFC, I was on before this fight I was on 3 winning streak. 3 fights, 3 KOs, and today it's fucking new chapter, and I'm very excited. My coaches, especially my boxing coach Ivan, did fucking.
I'm gonna go grab water and my phone charger real quick, but I'm gonna keep it playing for you boys.
Great, amazing job.
Andre, how you doing? Congrats on your win. Liam Sagarian with Philly Sports Network. Can you speak to the differences in fighting Ben here in BKFC versus in MMA?
Be honest with you, we never fought. I mean, like, technically we fought MMA, but it was like striking, stand up all the time. He's never took me down. I never took him down. It was fucking striking all the time. First fight back in 2008, I knocked him out. Second fight, 2018, I believe. I set up the record of the most significant strikes. And today, finally, I finished him and got my W by KO.
Victor with Fighting Yo. Similar question. Did this feel like round 9 for you, or was this like a different experience with the bare knuckle rule set?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What does it mean, round 9?
Like, because you had the previous rounds with him before. So does it feel like you're just continuing like from where you left off? Because you felt, or does it feel different?
Listen, he's a fucking great guy. And I told him it's nothing personal, but it was a good fight. And actually, when I rushed in a clinch in the second round, he kind of like bumped me a little bit, like shook my fucking head a little bit. And I, fuck, I need to like survive somehow. And I grabbed him, and since God, like, I was smart enough, stick with the game plan, what my boxing coach told me, never fucking be in a clinch. If you clinch, so rest couple seconds, push him up, and like throw combos again.
Congratulations, Andre. Savage Combat Sports Media. When we had talked before, I seen that you had the nickname the Pitbull, and I said, you're a K9 on 2 legs ripping through shit. You did that tonight. How much of that do you attribute to the Arlovsky method? Because I've been looking at that and watching that and studying, and I think that's keeping you young. What do you attribute to that?
Yeah, you call me, instead of the Pitbull, you can call me Benjamin Button. The Arlovsky method, it's pretty much, like it's mindset. Actually, I'm gonna come up next week with the app with all the stuff. It's like mindset, it's like personal workout, diet, nutrition, etc., etc., etc. And the most important, I said after the fight, like the message is, people who has a battle right now with the cancer, just fucking keep fighting, because. Because life is beautiful and never give up. And I went through fucking chemotherapy, etc., etc., etc. And fighting against Ben, it's just fucking big gun. A lot of big piece of meat with bones and fucking skin. Nothing. I'm a priori already won. Even I lost the fucking fight to Ben, I won the fucking fight 3 fucking times.
Andre, this is Anthony Cruz III, the Capital Sports Report. You have a towel or bandage on your hand. Did you injure or break your hand there?
No, I fucking cut my hand somehow. I guess I punched him in the tooth or something.
Chris, Combat Loop MMA, man, you look really fast out there, and Ben didn't look as fast as you. Did you feel it's a speed difference when you were fighting with Ben?
Absolutely, because I'm sparring with the young guys.
Andre, down here, Jeremy throwing hands, congratulations. You looked like you advanced quite a bit from your first fight in bare knuckle. You look strong, you look fast. Do you think that the win today is attributed to your preparation, or do you think maybe the previous wins over Ben played a mental part on the victory tonight?
Definitely, I was in Ben's head since 2008. And he tried to be... he was talking to my manager. I mean, we have the same manager. He told me after the fight in Texas, like, if you're going to fight like that, I'm going to whoop your ass. I said, okay, we'll see. But the point is, like I said, I have a great fucking boxing coach. With his style, sometimes I'm upset, I'm mad to him. I said, what the fuck? And said, please keep doing. He's pushing me so. And I'm very disciplined, and hopefully today I stuck with a game plan, so I got it.
Crazy Kev here. Just wanted to ask, you've been fighting for a very long time now, over 20 years. You've never tested positive
26.
for steroids. Yeah, you've never tested positive for steroids at all. You've been a clean athlete all throughout your career. Talk us a bit more about how important it is to stay clean as an athlete, and what's maybe your message to people that do use steroids to fight.
Listen, I'm not a god, I can judge. So I do what I do and I believe what I'm doing. And nothing beats hard works.
And hard work's what got him here, man. Bare knuckle fighting championship heavyweight champion of the world. Congratulations, man.
All right, before we get into the moment you guys have all been waiting for, which is the brawl between Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez, let's get into Soda Pop's question. Yeah, Soda Pop, a little cameo from Crazy Kev. Can you believe it? Shout out to Crazy Kev. Soda Pop's asking, today's food, 3 pieces of French toast and 4 pieces of bacon. All right, pretty good at 3 p.m. Then had 4 bowls of white rice, ground beef, and beans from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Is that good for the day, or do I need to eat even more? Honestly, homie, that's probably pretty good for the day. That's probably pretty good for the day, Soda Pop. You be lifting too, Soda Pop, or you're not really lifting, you're just eating more? That would be my main question. Are you like adding some like gym to this diet, or is it just more so like adding more calories, just point blank period? But with a diet like that, plus a little bit of lifting weights, bro, you're definitely going to put on some weight. Like, you're definitely going to put on some weight. Not a crazy amount, but you'd probably add like 5 pounds or so. Okay, Soda Pop says, my homie said no need to work out until I put on more weight. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, you could do it anytime you want. But, no, that's pretty solid. What you ate today is pretty solid, homie, I gotta say. You run that a bunch of days in a row, you should put on a little bit of weight. I'd say like 2 weeks of running it like that, Soda Pop, or maybe like 2 weeks of running it like that, then get yourself in the gym, homie. Get yourself in the gym after 2 weeks of that diet. You could even sprinkle a little bit more onto those bowls or something. You could put some I don't know if you fuck with some cheddar cheese or something, but shit, do some white rice, ground beef, beans, and some cheddar cheese or some shit like that. Just to add in a bit more. But that's the only thing I'd say. I think it's pretty good, though. I think that's pretty solid, homie. Pretty fucking solid. Shout out to fucking Soda Pop. All right. The moment you guys have all been waiting for. Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez getting down at BKFC Knucklemania 6. Soda Pop says, yeah, I've been throwing Doritos on it, not going to lie. No worries. I mean, you're bulking anyway, homie. So that's why I said you could even throw some cheese on that bitch. Whatever you want. Barbecue sauce. Run it, bro. Good shit, Soda Pop. Okay. And maybe says, Jacob, it looks like the neighbor bought earplugs. I guess so, homie. Maybe she did. Or maybe it's because I'm actually, super conscious of trying to be quiet tonight. Who knows what it is? I just think she's a crazy fucking bitch. That's what I think. And fuck her. Like, I literally don't like her anymore. If I were to see her, though, I would kill her with kindness. I would literally laugh at her and be like, it didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way. Soda Pop says, oh, heck not, Jacob. Barbecue on white rice. It's not something I run, Soda Pop. It's not something I run, so. I usually run the soy sauce. I usually run a little bit of soy sauce with my ground beef and rice bowls. Juice says, I wish I had a fast metabolism and had to force the bulk. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? I've never been on Soda Pop's side of things. I've always been like, if I don't hit the gym and eat healthy, bro, I'm just like naturally like a thickie, bro. All right, let's take a look. Footage has surfaced of Eddie Alvarez. Footage has surfaced of Mike Perry at the bottom of a pileup getting jumped by Eddie Alvarez and his team while in attendance at BKFC Knucklemania 6 in Philadelphia on Saturday. Let's review the footage. Mike Perry's at the bottom of that. You can see him in the green jacket getting beat on. We're going to watch it twice. I'm going to let it roll through. Crazy. There's Mike getting picked up. There's Eddie right there in the black shirt. Eddie directly on top of Mike. Directly on top of Mike. Look, you can see Eddie pushing on Mike's head right there. Here's Eddie. Eddie's team jumping on Mike. Peep Mike in the left side. Mike's going to be on the left side at some point in time, and then you're going to see Eddie on the right side. So here's Eddie. Here's Eddie. Brawl still breaks out. Eddie's over here. Eddie follows. Eddie right here acting like nothing just happened between him and Mike. You know, if you guys didn't know, Mike beat the shit out of Eddie already once. Beat the shit out of his ass. And here's Mike Perry over here. That's Perry right there. You see him? So they eventually got separated.
What I want you to do is we're going to do some trivia, see how much you know. We're going to throw it up there on the screen, and I'm going to ask you what the best fights in the world is. This is easy. Is it A, Los Angeles, B, Philadelphia, C, Las Vegas?
I mean, a lot of people asking what started it. I have no clue what started it, bro. No clue. But Mike Perry had this to say about the event initially. He goes, was an eventful weekend at Bare Knuckle. A lot of animosity in this game. Tough challenges. Train hard and try to make them look easy. Then he added and he said, they welcomed me to Philly as one of their own, and that floor was slippery as heck, and his wife fell on her face, and I laughed at her. Looks like I was just down underneath everybody slipping for the first minute. Told y'all eventful. So I don't know, is Mike Perry saying that the floor was slippery as heck and his wife fell on her face and I laughed at her? Looks like I was just down underneath everybody slipping for the first minute. Told y'all. So is that why they fucking started fighting? Because he laughed at his wife? I don't know. I don't know what started it. Let's try to read the comments and see what started it, someone says. Okay, so someone responded and said Perry said something creepy to his son's girl, young girl. Oh, okay. I mean, that's one narrative. So Mike Perry said something creepy to Eddie Alvarez's son's girl. How old is Eddie Alvarez's oldest kid? Anybody know the full story of how it started? It says, yes, last year Perry whooped Alvarez pillar to post in that venue. This time around, Alvarez brought an entourage to get his get back because he couldn't do it in a 1v1. Oh, someone else saying, I was sitting next to Alvarez when it happened. I think something was said that was inappropriate to Eddie's son. His son's girlfriend, very young girlfriend. Oof. Says they were both very respectful to each other. They were chilling for a while and then something got sparked. So there you have it. There you have it. I guess Mike said something to Eddie's son's girlfriend. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Eddie Alvarez. Why does that sound so good, Tyler Betts? Eddie Alvarez. It literally sounds perfect. Eddie Alvarez. All right. Before we get into UFC Vegas 13, let's just take a look. Joaquin Buckley called out. Let's get to Joaquin in a minute. Let's get to Joaquin in a minute. MMA Rio asking, does anyone know the reason for the fight? MMA Rio, everybody in the comments is suggesting Mike Perry said something inappropriate to Eddie Alvarez's son's girlfriend, and that's what kicked it off. All right. That's the story. Okay, let's get into UFC Vegas 113. So we're just going to speak on the co-main and the main events at UFC Vegas 113. Let's pull up Tapology. Okay, UFC Vegas 113 wrapped up. You know what? I'll say one other thing. I guess there's two people moving up in weight after taking L's at UFC Vegas 113. Jailton Almeida, not moving up, rather, he's moving down. Jailton moving back down to 205, allegedly. We'll see what happens there. Suffering his second loss in a row, this time to Rizvan Kuniev by unanimous decision. All right. Second fighter who's going to be moving up a weight class is Vinicius Oliveira, following his loss to Mario Bautista. Now, all week, he was bragging, right, and boasting about how he likes to cut 50 pounds during fight week, which is crazy work for anybody to be cutting, right? Now he takes the L. Now he announces, oh, the weight cut's too much. I'm moving up to 45. So Vinicius had more to say after his loss, which we're going to get into. But again, we're speaking on the co-main and the main events. That's what we're going to wrap up right now. The co-main, Kyoji Horiguchi unanimously defeats Amir Albazi in his second fight back in the UFC since his departure. So Kyoji Horiguchi now 2-0 in the UFC since returning this year. He was on like a how many year hiatus? He returned after a give or take like a 9-year hiatus, give or take. Yeah, about exactly 9 years. Exactly, I mean 3 days removed from being 9 years. So after his 9-year hiatus from the UFC, Kyoji Horiguchi back 2-0, 2-0. Update on Kyoji Horiguchi. Shout out to Bert. All right, the update on Kyoji. Broken hand. Here it is. Photo of Kyoji-san's hand. Here it is after the fight as well. So he'll be out for a little minute. Sadly, former title challenger Kyoji Horiguchi broke his right hand in round 1 of his win this weekend against Amir Albazi. How long do you think this will put him out of competition? And who would you like to see him fight in his return? I think he's got another fight to win. I think he's got another fight to win. Chainfire Mech Warrior says he was at Ryzen previously, right? Correct. He was at Ryzen. He was also with Bellator after his departure from the UFC. So that's Kyoji Horiguchi. Update on him. I mean, we can discuss real quick like who he can fight. We can definitely discuss that. Although, the return is going to make it a little bit difficult just because timelines, right? So when is he going to be eligible to return? What month? That would help us narrow down the opponent a bit more. But I mean, basically, bro, Kyoji, if the best bet to me right now, let's say Brandon Moreno defeats Loner Kavanaugh at UFC Mexico in a couple of weeks here. Well, then Kyoji Horiguchi, that lines Kyoji up perfectly to return against Brandon Moreno once his hand heals later this year. All right, maybe like March, April. 3 to 4 months, I would say. March, April, May. Let's go up to May with it. So, not even March, April. Sorry, I'm saying April, May. April, May, June. Okay, Kyoji can return April, May, June against Brandon Moreno if Moreno can get past Loner Kavanaugh at UFC Mexico in a couple of weeks in the main event there. That's probably looking like his best bet. Second best bet for Kyoji, because, obviously he wants to fight up. So we're only looking up for Kyoji. Manel Cap or Tatsura Taira? Manel Cap or Tatsura Taira? Yeah, Manel Cap or Tatsura Taira. Whoever doesn't really get the title shot per se. We'll see what's going to happen at flyweight. Pantoja, he's promised an immediate title shot once he comes back from injury. It seems like the UFC wants to book Joshua Van against Manel Kape or Taira before Pantoja returns. That's what it seems like to me. So it's almost like, whoever the UFC gives to Van in Kape or Taira, give the odd man out to Kyoji. Now, Pantoja's still going to fight for the belt when he comes back from injury. But, I mean, that's the best you can do for Kyoji. Probably Brandon Moreno if he beats Loner. Or, the odd man out in Manel Kape or Tatsuro Taira. Sodapaw says Van vs. Taira 2. Who won the first one with Van and Taira? What the fuck? How did I miss that? Oh, okay. Van vs. Pantoja 2. Okay. I was going to say, damn, I'm tripping. Okay. Van vs. Pantoja 2. Kape versus Taira. And then Kyoji versus Moreno. Alambaya versus Albazi. Elliott versus Perez. Okay, I like it. I like it. We got to get Tim Elliott's black ass, that opponent. Tim Elliott thinks he's black. Yeah, Van versus Pantoja 2, Kape versus Taira for number 1 contender, Kyoji versus Moreno, Alambaya versus Albazi, Elliott versus Perez. Run it. Sodapaw says the fact they haven't booked Van in a fight yet makes me think it's going to be Pantoja. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how that whole thing plays out. It's kind of an interesting one. This one and at bantamweight, very interesting. There's like a logjam of contenders now. Not a full-on logjam at 135, but it's just like, Merab's guaranteed the next title shot, and you got Umar and O'Malley and Sandhagen all like one win away from earning a title shot too. So bantamweight, flyweight, very interesting right now. A lot of players in the top 5. Lots of players in the top 5, bro. And honestly, at bantamweight, now Mario Bautista getting his win. You got Ayman Zahabi on a win streak. He's sitting at number 6 right now. So look for Ayman and Mario to fight inside the top 5 in their next bouts. Look for that. And I guess that brings us to it. in the main event at UFC Vegas 113, Mario Bautista walks through and absolutely dominates Vinicius Oliveira from pillar to post, bro. Pillar to post. Vinicius was not in that fight for 1 minute. Not 1 minute of that fight did Vinicius have a route to victory. Not 1 minute, not 1 second. Mario Bautista steamrolled through his ass. No diddy. No diddy. Mario steamrolled through his ass. Let me read a couple chats real quick. Chain Firing says, isn't it gonna be Cop versus Van? I mean, that's what it's looking at. If you just look at Cop and Van's social media, Mech Warrior, then it seems like those are the two that are fighting. Yeah. Van is paying a lot more attention to Manel Cop than Van is paying attention to any of the contenders right now, including Pantoja, including Tyra. You know, Van, he got his sights set on Cop for sure. For sure. Now, who knows what's going to happen? It could happen. I think it could happen. Soda Pop, a little bit doubtful because it hasn't been announced yet, but I think it could happen. So I'm just waiting to see how it's gonna all play out. Oh, Tyler Betts saying Fareed versus Cheeto would be fire. Yeah, honestly, I like it. I like that, Tyler Betts. Fareed versus Cheeto, run it. Fareed, very technical, bro. If you guys were in the live stream on Saturday, I had nothing but like positive things to say about both Boschrot brothers. Both Boschrot brothers, bro, technical as hell. I honestly wasn't familiar with their game. I honestly wasn't. Both of them, bro, I see the hype now. I see the hype now. For sure, I see it. And Soda Pop adding a little bit of context to the bantamweight division, saying, did you see they said Zahabi has a broken arm, so the Cory fight isn't happening per Ariel? Damn, I did not see that, Soda Pop. Okay, so that makes Cory a viable option at 135 for anybody to fight now. You know, that opens up the door for O'Malley versus Sandhagen at UFC White House. I know Umar wants O'Malley, but, you know, I think O'Malley is looking to fight at UFC White House. Umar not looking to fight at UFC White House. If O'Malley wanted to duck Umar, the easiest way to duck Umar, call for a fight on UFC White House. You're going to get Cory Sandhagen, so you better be ready for that one. But at least you're not going to be getting, you know, much takedown attempts you got to defend, right? So that's what I would say. Cory Sandhagen, a viable player at 135 now. He back open. He back on the market. O'Malley could step in there, but not only O'Malley, Bautista already calling to get his lick back. Let's get back to Bautista. All right, Bautista gets the rear naked choke finish over Vinicius Oliveira. Round 2, calls out Cory Sandhagen, the man he lost to in his UFC debut. I love it. I absolutely love it. And, you know, let me say this about Mario Bautista. In hindsight, you know, the power of hindsight is always wonderful, isn't it? We can just see things so clearly after things play out. I owe Mario Bautista a bit of an apology, all right? I was heavily down on him for his loss to Umar. Now, I don't think that, let me put it like this. My criticisms of Mario and holding him to a higher standard, I don't take it back, and I don't think I was too hard on him. But where I do think I was too hard on him is where I kind of like wrote him off after the loss, thinking he wasn't shit, not realizing how hard it is to go 5 rounds with Umar, right, to hurt Umar, and to always basically be in the fight, even if you got taken down at will, right, staying relentless in there, not gassing out, not quitting, not giving up, making your own moment, right, creating your own moment at the end of the fight, badly hurting Umar, dropping him with a head kick. You know, you're cut from a different cloth, Mario, and I thought you were, but I kind of wrote you off after that loss, and that was my mistake, because when you see guys like Vinicius go in there and just completely just shit all over the bed, right, just completely shit all over the bed, make a fucking mess, right? It makes you realize that, like, okay, damn, even if Mario, it was a bad loss to Umar, and he got dominated, and I thought he was better than that, even though all that may be true, right? It's also true that he belongs there, whereas Vinicius, not so much. He completely shat the fucking bed, made a mess all over the place. All right. Mario, yeah, he lost to Umar. Yeah, it was a bad loss, but did he shit the bed? Right? Did he get his fucking ass choked out in round 2 like a scrub? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And so there's like a middle level to these losses. You can get dominated, but there's a difference between getting dominated like Mario did against Umar, and there's a difference between how fucking Vinicius got his ass ran through by Mario. All right, so dominated and ran through is a way I'm going to start categorizing losses. If you got dominated, you can still come back. Even DDP, right? DDP getting dominated against Hamzat. Not saying he can beat Hamzat, but he can come back against other contenders in the division. Vinicius, he didn't just get dominated by Mario. He got his ass ran fucking through. All right, he got his ass ran through, shat all over the place. All right, Vinicius is not one of these guys who can come back and compete against contenders. He got his ass ran through. He shat all over the place. All right, so Mario, my apologies. You made you made me look like an asshole, and I can accept that. So I wanted to give Mario his flowers there for that, because I read that wrong. I read that wrong after the Umar loss. With that being said, Mario wants to fight Cory Sandhagen, and I love it. And I absolutely love it. Space Kid says pretty much. Duke eat on. Yeah, thank you, boys. I mean, let's be real. You know what I mean? Mario got dominated by Umar, yes. But Vinicius got his ass ran through. He shat the fucking bed, bro. Unbelievable. So, it had to be said. Now let's peep, let's just peep the whole UFC post-fight press conference. Why not? Why not? But aside from a Cory, Marlon Vera is another viable option for Mario. Another viable option. Davison coming off a loss, Song coming off a loss, Iman with the broken arm. Honestly, it's a race. Who can get their hands on Sandhagen first? O'Malley or Mario? That's my opinion. Honestly, that's my opinion. Who can get their hands on Sandhagen first? O'Malley or Mario? Both teammates got a politic for that fight. And then the odd man out got to fight Umar. Crazy how Umar beat O'Malley, Sandhagen, and Mario. Those are solid wins, bro. For the bantamweight division. Cheeto gonna lose to David Martinez next month? Yeah, definitely. Definitely is. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it makes it even more clear, doesn't it? Mario really, his only option is him and O'Malley are going to be politicking to fight Sandhagen. Actually, wait, my bad. Umar and O'Malley never fought, right? Umar and O'Malley never fought. They got to run it, bro. They got to fucking run it. Umar and O'Malley got to run it. Sandhagen and Mario got to run it, bro. That's the fights to make. That's the fights to make. It couldn't be more clear. If we aren't trying to, set up O'Malley to get these dubs and fucking give O'Malley Daddy Dana privilege, the fight to make is Umar versus Sean, bro. The fight to make is Umar versus Sean. Sandhagen versus Mario. Now, who disagrees with me on that one? Because I know a lot of people, right, have been clamoring for O'Malley versus Sandhagen for a long time. Does someone want to disagree with that one or no? I just think if it makes everything kind of fit in perfectly. Umar, O'Malley, Sandhagen, Mario too. I just think it kind of fits in perfectly. Cheeto been washed. Dude, he'd been washed for so long. Cheeto been washed for so long. He's probably one of the, he's definitely like industry plant worthy of saying, Cheeto was just gifted these opponents to beat. Tyler Betts is free calling for someone ranked in the top 10. I wasn't gonna look at the Bosch but let's take a look real quick. Fareed wants someone in the top 10. Well, there's a lot of options for Fareed. He can get Ayman. He can get Ayman when Ayman returns, although that's probably the last thing Ayman wants. But honestly, Fareed versus Davison. They just fought on different weeks. 2 weeks apart, I think. Fareed versus Davison wouldn't be bad at all. Space Kid says, why not Umar versus Mario? Because they just fought. That's my only opinion on that one, Space Kid. Because Umar and Mario just fought. So, like, already rematch it. I don't think Mario covered the skill gap in this time period. Now, the rematch with him and Sandhagen, longer time apart, okay, he might be able to get that win back. So, that's my opinion on that one, Space Kid. That's why I like it. Franklin says O'Malley's ready to style on Umar. All right, well, shit. If O'Malley ready to style on Umar, then book that shit. Here's where I'm at with it, too. And I get it. Before I even say this, I get you could be like, well, you could say the same thing about Mario. Okay, but again, I guess my rebuttal would be, well, Mario already fought Umar. Give him a fresh matchup. So here's what I think, especially because Space Kid says, why the wrestler versus the striker? And while this won't be a blanket statement, in this one particular case, I'll say, O'Malley got to get past the wrestler. O'Malley got to check the wrestler off his box. Now, I already said it. I know you guys are going to be like, well, Mario got to check a wrestler off his box too. I get it. But we're just going to throw Mario back in there against Umar. We know what's going to happen. He's just coming off of his loss to Umar. So we know what's going to happen. He's only one fight removed from it. Throw him right back up in there. Terrible, in my opinion. O'Malley, he's been lost to Merab twice now. Merab is clearly a better wrestler than Umar. Technically, Umar should be a step down in competition from Merab. O'Malley needs to fucking beat a wrestler. He needs to check it off his box, in my humble opinion. All right. So O'Malley versus Nurmagomedov would say it all. That would be like, okay, he's finally ready. He can finally potentially compete against Merab. And think about it again. We got to go down. Oh, now we're getting into the details. All right. Umar, yes, he can wrestle, right? Because he comes from Khabib's camp. But is he really a wrestler? No. No, he's not really a wrestler. He's a striker. Him and his brother are primarily Muay Thai strikers. All right. They are great wrestlers too. They're great grapplers, but they're not primary grapplers. That's not their first skill set. They went to Thailand. They honed their striking. They came back with the family. They honed their grappling. So the original tool set is more so striking, more so more so Muay Thai. All right. O'Malley needs to beat the striker turned wrestler Umar. He needs to beat him. Umar isn't a wrestler like that. All right, he's not a wrestler like that. O'Malley needs to beat him, and I hope he can beat him. For the sake of our Americans, I hope O'Malley can beat a guy like Umar. So that's what I would say about that one. I would say it proves more if O'Malley, in my eyes, it would prove more to me. If O'Malley could beat Umar, I'd be like, all right, throw him up in there for that title shot. Right? Throw him up in there. Manny Marum saying, I solved the welterweight matchups. Hear me out. The best ever matchups ever. I should be the matchmaker in my opinion. All right, let's see it, Manny. Bilal versus Morales. Honestly, bro, I already sussed it out. Come back to me, Manny, when you put Joaquin Buckley in there. I will not even look at that unless you put Joaquin Buckley in there. Mr. Manny Moron telling me he needs to match make, fixing it all for the welterweight division right now when Joaquin just called him all out for being inactive and you didn't even put Joaquin's name in there? Manny, what the fuck is going on, bro? Fuck no, I'm not reading that, Manny, unless you fix that and put Joaquin in there. Fuck no, I'm not reading that. Joaquin been out longer than all of them. Joaquin been out longer than all of them. Joaquin needs to return, and it needs to be against one of those names. Or I want to hear what you got, Manny, but you need to fix that, and you need to come back to me. HT says, "Hey Jay, what's poppin', HT? What's poppin'? We're just breaking down Vegas 113 right now. We're about to get into the post-fight press conference." Oh, okay. So, who said it? Tyler Betts says, "How about Talbot? Does he deserve someone ranked yet?" Honestly, yeah. I mean, Talbot definitely deserves somebody ranked. He's already ranked too. Payne Talbot's in the mix, bro. Who's he gonna get? Maybe fight down one more time. Maybe, honestly, let Talbot fight down one more time. Rob Font, Kyler, or Montel. One more tune-up, and then let's propel him up into the top of the division. Or if he wants to sit out for like 6 months, we could find him a spot. Tyler Betts, we could find Peyton Talbot a spot if he wants to fight up, but he's going to have to sit out for a little bit. You know, all these guys are busy. Everything's been booked up almost. No timelines are syncing up for Peyton Talbot to slide in one of these fights ranked above him. If he wants to stay active, he could fight 13, 14, or 15. If Talbot wants to fight up and he cares that much, then okay. Maybe sit out 6 months and let's reevaluate. Tyler Betts says, "Shit, I guess he has to now unless he fights Oliveira." But Oliveira's moving up. I would say Oliveira's a great option, Tyler Betts, but I guess Oliveira moving up. So if Oliveira doesn't move up, then book it. Okay, Manny saying Buckley can't even get past Usman. How you want him to fight higher in rankings? He's not even a former champ or anything, though. Bro. Joaquin needs to fight Mr. Manny. Joaquin needs to fight Sean Brady, Bilal. I mean, Shavkat's completely out of the rankings now. I don't even think Joaquin wants that no more. Joaquin needs to fight Brady or Bilal. Brady, Bilal, or Leon, bro. Joaquin needs to fight Brady, Bilal, or Leon. You're leaving him out of all those. You're leaving him out of all those, bro. I just want you to have him in consideration. Like the fact that if you didn't book him up against any of those guys, the fact that you didn't consider who Joaquin should fight next, Manny, is crazy work, bro. It's crazy work. And I love you, Manny, so don't get it twisted. I'm just trolling you a little bit, all right? Okay, Leon versus Buckley sounds good. All right. All right, now that we've established Leon versus Buckley, all right, which is fine. HT's also saying Buckley versus Bilal. All right, Buckley versus Bilal. I like it. HT, we on the same page. Buckley versus Bilal, Buckley versus Brady. I like it. Ian versus Usman. I'm going to say Ian gets the title shot. But okay, HT. Protest versus JDM. Okay, I like it. Islam versus Morales. How about Morales versus Usman? We could just differ on that one. Solid HT, but I'll swap Ian versus Usman with Islam versus Morales. Juice says dissing Buck on this channel is crazy. I mean, it's low key crazy, but it also just turned into a troll at this point because you guys all know I love Buck. So now I just kind of troll you guys sarcastically. If you leave him out, I don't take no offense to it. I'm just going to troll. But yeah, I mean, disrespecting Buck is crazy, and leaving him out of the fucking matchups is even crazier. All right. He's extremely relevant and he deserves to be included in the conversation. And that's exactly what I'm always going to do. We're always going to include Joaquin in the conversation. All right. If it's the last thing I do, I will make sure Joaquin's name is always in the conversation. And that's why homie needs to fucking, I think he already knows it. You know, he already knows it. All right. But it's like, Joaquin, there's only one place where we always keep your name in the fucking conversation. And it's right here. Don't ever get it twisted. There's going to be a lot of fake dick suckers in the world. You know, lots of fake dick suckers in the world. Lots of fake media pages that are going to be glazing you, homie. But there's only one place who demands that all the members of the fucking chat, all the members of the streets keep you in their mind. And that's fucking me, bro. That's fucking me. I do it off the strength. I do it off the love. Joaquin better never forget it. All right? I do it off the strength. I do it off the love. I always keep his name in the conversation. It just had to be said for the one time. It just had to, because, you know, what I do, you know what I mean? For homie, he does a lot for me too, but I'm just saying, you know, I hook him up with that. Always in the conversation. Never forget him. Always relevant. I will never let that shit slide. Love you, Buck. Love you, fucking Buck. I mean, if it's not apparent with that fucking rant I just went on, we love you, Buck. We absolutely love you. We can't wait. We can't wait till the best fighter in the welterweight division comes back. All right? When Buck's in the octagon, people love it. I know people forgetting about it. Bro. But trust me, when Joaquin is in that octagon fighting, everybody tunes in. Everybody tunes in. You got to see the Joaquin fight. You always got to see the Joaquin fight. So that's what I got to say. We'll hop off the Joaquin topic for now. But Manny, saying you want to see Prayer move up? I wouldn't hate it. Manny. Like what? See Prayer fight Cyril Gane? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I definitely wouldn't hate it. Space Kid saying, yeah, my man fucking Space Kid. You know Space Kid. You know we all watch you when Buck fights, bro. The magnitude is crazy when he fights. Because a lot of people, you know, they tune it in to watch him lose or they tune it in to watch him win, but that's what's most important. You know, you got both sides tuning in. Bromance are the best. Shit. Shout out to Unbroken. Yes, to answer your question, Manny, I would like to see Prayer move up. Not like to, but I wouldn't be against it, no. Tyler Betts says Buck versus Leon. I mean, we need to catch a body. We need a body. I think Leon's a perfect fucking body. Honestly, Tyler Betts, we need a body. Leon is the perfect one. Leon, Brady, Bilal, bro. Okay, but Manny's matchups are Bilal versus Morales. Interesting. Ian versus Islam. Okay, I agree. Carlos versus JDM. I wouldn't disagree. I'm okay with it. Brady versus Usman. Brady doesn't get to fight Usman coming off a loss. I'd almost switch out. I'd go Usman versus Bilal. I'd go Usman, Bilal. I'd go Buck versus Brady. And I'd leave out Morales. I'd leave him out. Let's leave him out for a backup for Ian versus Islam. I'd do something like that. Manny says, I'm my best matchmaker on this channel. You're pretty good, homie. It's a pretty good matchmaking you're doing. I agree with Ian versus Islam. I agree with Carlos versus JDM. Like I said, I probably put Usman versus Bilal, settle that beef, right? They got an ongoing beef. Usman versus Bilal. I go Brady versus Buck. And I leave for the backup title shot opportunity. I'm gonna just leave Morales out. He could sit out for 6 months. Like he could just sit out. So these press conferences were pretty quick here. So let's just run through the UFC Vegas 113 post-fight presser. We got Kyoji, we got Mario Bautista in the flesh. Let's go over it. Kevin from Chicago says the amount of glazing I just witnessed in regards to Buckley was astronomical. Oh, my man. My fucking man, Kevin from Chicago. I love it, homie. Shit, I can't deny it. I may have just glazed Buck. All right. I may have just done it. But I will not be taking it back. Mr. Hawk, hopping in the chat. Been a minute, Hawk. Hope high school's going good, homie. We don't forget about you in this bitch. Hawk says there's so many people here. Soon you'll be in the thousands soon. My man, Hawk. Thank you for coming in here with the good vibes, homie. Much appreciated, Hawk. Hawk, you've been here since the beginning. You seen it when I didn't have too many people watching. So shout out to you, homie. Much appreciation for all the support. HT saying, I really want Gary versus Morales. Winner fights Islam. Honestly, I see why you want to see Gary versus Morales. They're the two probably best guys at 170 right now, not named Islam. Gary and Morales probably the two best guys at 170, not named Islam. I mean, it's not even probably, it's a fact. It's a fact. Manny says, why do people say Usman or Magomedov beats Ilya? Ilya probably grapes Usman in round 1. We're going to talk about that after UFC Vegas 13. Juice says, ain't Brady moving down? I think he might be. He might be. We'll see, Jew. Brady big as hell, bro. Moving down would be crazy. I know he's short, bro, but he like thick as hell. Cupcake says, you are the only MMA live streamer that also does content review in his streams. Videos, articles, etc. Stick with it. You'll grow, brother. All right, Cupcake, I got you. We're going to keep doing the same thing, and we're going to keep giving you guys the content you want to see. All right? Shout out to Cupcake. I got you, and thank you for your input as well. You know, I always like to hear feedback from you guys because it allows me to know how I'm perceived from an outside perspective. So I like seeing the feedback from you guys. It's always welcome. Morales is in fight camp already. Space Kid saying W Cupcake. Hawk says, yes, sir, school's a little tough, but I'm trying to get back in the streams. Sounds good, homie. We love having you in here when you can be in here. But school first priority, homie. So no worries. Soda Pop, Nam Morales and Gary are the two zestiest. That's why. I mean, they are that too. They are the two zestiest. That is also true. Kevin says your streams are therapeutic. Shit, hell yeah, Kevin. I also love to hear that, homie. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. Manny says Gary can't match Morales' zestiness. I mean, yeah, Morales is super, super zesty. Super, super zesty. All right, let's get through the post-fight press conference. Let's listen to what's going on here. You know, talking about who these guys want to fight next, timelines, call-outs. Let's hear it.
Kyoji, congrats on that fight. We just talked to you a few days ago. You look almost the same. Not too many marks, not too much damage.
Yeah.
What an awesome performance as that co-main event, man. Well done, sir.
Thank you so much. But not best performance.
All right, Hawk. We just wrapping up UFC Vegas 113, but I'll answer your question before I play the whole video. Honestly, bro, I hate to say it, but I'm rocking with Fluffy. I'm rocking with Fluff, bro. Strickland just, you don't grapple, bro. I mean, it's like not hitting legs. It's literally like skipping leg day. So I'm going to go with Fluffy, bro. Fluffy never skips leg day. So I'm going to go with Fluffy.
Yeah, I want to finish him. Yeah.
I know most fighters want to do that, and they have that goal to be able to get their opponent out of there. But are you still proud of yourself to be able to go a hard 15 minutes, stay a step ahead of Albazi, and just get your hand raised, but with style points? Because now you have people like Henry Cejudo online talking about that you will be champion sometime this year.
Yeah, of course I want to get the belt soon, So maybe I'm keep training, come back to the Florida. Then I'm just focused that belt, Yeah.
What does this fight do? I mean, you have all the exposure of Paramount Plus. You were the co-main event. All eyes on you. Is this part of the business strategy, if you will, to get to that belt? Is it, you feel like you're where you're supposed to be, where you need to be right now in your career path?
パラマウントプラスだったりですとか、公明のイベントに選ばれたりですとか、ビジネスの戦略として、ビルドに近づくための、いい戦略というか、今この場所に自分が置かれるべきだというふうに思われますか？
I don't know for the business, but doesn't matter. I want a belt, just that, Yeah.
Grade your performance. What did you give yourself tonight?
自分の自己評価をお願いします。今日のパフォーマンスで。
Not best performance because I want to finish. Yeah, that's why I need thinking about that. Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, follow up on that. You had the shots. You were always one step ahead. Stuff takedowns. You were able to control distance. You backed him up a lot. And even when he was able to maybe come forward a little bit, your counter shots were there. To me, that was a damn good performance. But what could you have done different? Besides the finish, I understand that, but what could you think you could have done better?
どういう感じで？
常に一歩先を行ってたという感じだったと思ったんですけれども、残念ながら。
Homie asking the same question over and over again. What do you think he could have done better? He could have finished his fucking opponent, brother. Let's move on to the next gosh damn question. And yes, Kyoji is super wholesome. Super wholesome.
フィニッシュができなかったということで、ご自身では満足じゃないということなんですけれども、それ以外ではどういったことが実現できたらよかったなというところがありましたか？
そうだな。あんまりなんて言うんだろう。こうだったああだったとかじゃなく、自分はやっぱフィニッシュを目指しているので、そこに行けなかったってことがもうなんだろうな。悔しいっていう感じですかね。
So there's nothing really in particular that I didn't like about my performance tonight, but other than just not being able to finish, but it's just that. Yep. That's not, what I wanted tonight.
Understood. How soon do we see you back in here, and what are the names in that top 10, top 5 that interest you?
I'm not sure because maybe my hand is a little broke. But when I fix this, doesn't matter anywhere, anytime. I can fight. Okay.
Sounds good. Congrats on the win tonight, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right, we know the title is the goal. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you came back for, right? You spent almost 10 years, maybe something like that outside of the UFC. You're going to excuse the phrasing, but why come back now? Do you think you had unfinished business in the UFC?
Because my best time right now. That's why I'm challenging to UFC. Yeah, that's why.
Gotcha. And when it comes to that title shot, right? And I know, on the media days that you don't give it, whoever it is. But would it mean more to fight Pantoja for that title, given how his last fight ended?
I don't care. I want a belt. So if champion is a Pantoja, yes, Pantoja. Other guy, yes, other guy. Yeah, that's all.
Let's say it's the other guy. Let's say it's Van. You go, you beat him, you're the champion.
Yep.
Do you want to give Pantoja the first shot at your title?
Yeah, of course. Because he defended many times. I think he's a true champion. But he was accident then. Yeah. But I think he's a true champion. Yeah.
Gotcha. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you injure the finger or the hand in the fight? At what point?
I think first round.
First round?
Yeah, but I feel that. I was feel pain, but I can throw. Doesn't matter pain. Throw. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when? What?
No, he was just saying he broke your hand.
Broke. Yeah.
So does that, I mean, obviously you said you still kept on throwing it, but does that change the game plan any, or do you just block it out of your mind and continue on and don't even think about the hand?
Not changing. You keep throwing, not game change plans. Yeah, not change. Yeah.
Amir was another person that came in here this fight week, talked everything about how he was going to shut you down, was going to implement, but yet again, another fighter that just can't do it. Why do the fighters just seem to have such a hard time with you out there?
どういう感じですか？
アミラージバジー選手もですね、堀口選手のことを倒すっていうふうに言われたそうなんですね。でも他の選手もなかなかもう堀口選手がどうしても倒せないということなんですけれども、その理由は何でしょうか？その強い理由を教えてください。
Because the Japanese strong. That's why. That's why.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like we've been watching you forever, but you just keep getting better and better. What has been the key to just...
What the fuck did he say, Soda Pop? I completely missed it. He disrespected Van or what? Never mind, I don't like him anymore. Don't ever disrespect us, Horiguchi. We are the greatest flyweight of all time. We slept Pantoja stiff inside 30 seconds. What the hell did he say about Van? I think I missed it. I don't care to rewind it. Drop it in the chat if you can.
This improvement that we see that gets better every time we see you.
Because I love MMA. That's why, people something love, maybe good improve a lot, That's why, yeah.
And also, I have to think that your team, the team around you, must be the perfect team for you as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my team is the best. Mike Brown, なんていうんですか、そのオタクみたいな MMA オタクみたいな。
He's an MMA nerd.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm here. Yeah.
What's the Japanese word for MMA nerd?
MMA otaku. Otaku. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Soda Pop says he called Van, quote, the other guy. We became champ. You became nothing, buddy. Shout out to Soda Pop. Shout out to Joshua Van. Shit, don't disrespect Van in front of Soda Pop. Don't even forget his fucking name in front of Soda Pop, or else you're gonna get his wrath. The other guy.
I mean, was there anything from Amir that surprised you out there? You got the unanimous.
How's he gonna call the champ the other guy though? The other guy's crazy. Call him the champ, the other guy. He's the champ, bro. You should be naming him. You should be first and last naming him.
Decision is very dominant, but was
Manny, I'm gonna read your chats in a little bit, but keep them coming. I'm gonna read them.
there anything that surprised you from him out there?
Yeah, I was surprised he come to striking. I thought more he tried to wrestling, but he's coming striking. That's why, oh, okay, keep doing, like that. Yeah.
And I was trying to get it confirmed, but I thought at one point there might have been an old executive from Ryzen out here in the audience. Do you know of anybody that was coming to see you tonight, or am I just crazy?
My friends coming tonight, and family, my sponsor, many guys come from Japan, Yep. Yeah, so that's why I can't lose. That's why, doesn't matter, hand is broke, but still keep throwing. Yeah.
What did you think of the crowd out there? It was very, very loud by the time it got to you. The new Apex with the C.
I gotta say, I still love Horiguchi. Saying, I had a lot of people coming to watch me, so that's why it doesn't matter. My hand's broken, I keep throwing. Jake Paul could fucking never, that little fucking scoundrel-ass bitch. Fucking hate Jake Paul. And no, I didn't always hate Jake Paul, but when he quit against AJ like that, yeah, I hate his bitch ass. You ain't cut from the real cloth as real fighters like Kyoji Horiguchi. And the list goes on and on. That's just a side note, but I just had to say it.
Did it feel different in there? And what did the crowd sound like to you?
Yeah, crowd always give me a power, I love that. Yeah.
How do you celebrate the victory? What's your post-fight food that you like to eat?
Maybe ramen noodle. Yeah, I like, yeah.
We have lots of good ramen spots here.
Yeah.
Congrats on your victory.
Thank you so much.
Kyoji, congrats on the win. To your left. Right here. Obviously, since you left the UFC from your first stint, we've seen you fight great competition across the globe, across different promotions. What were your biggest takeaways from that time that you brought here to the second tenure in the UFC?
なんですか?
UFC からちょっとしばらく離れられて、他の世界の団体で戦われたということなんですけれども、どういったことを学んで戻っていらっしゃったんでしょうか?
I'm develop everything, fight fear and like a scare, everything. I'm wrong. Yeah, that's why I'm strong right now. Yeah.
And what would it mean for you to be a Bellator champ, a Ryzen champ, and potentially a UFC champ?
Yeah, soon. I will get soon the belts. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Thank you so much.
Shout out to fucking Kyoji. Great guy. Great guy. Let's get through this.
He's just checking yourself out. He's like, all right, am I D-step enough?
Hitting him with the flex. I mean, Mario, he Aura farming after the win. Gotta respect it. He got his swag back on.
Yeah. You guys ready? All right. Mario, congrats on the victory, man. What are the, first finish in 2023? What are the emotions coming out? That was a pretty clean victory, dude. What are the emotions after that?
It's surreal, First,
I mean, it's nothing really crazy to be pointing out, but I'm just saying something about Mario's tattoos. I just respect him. I just respect him. They ain't nothing pretty. They ain't nothing pretty. You feel me? He just got straight death before dishonor in cursive on his chest. He got battle born on both forearms. I mean, it ain't nothing pretty. And that's just like Mario. That's Mario's like MO in the game. It ain't nothing pretty. You know what I mean? But shit, Mario gets the job done. Death before dishonor, battle born. I mean, I fuck with the tattoos. They fit Mario perfectly. He not a flashy guy. He not a fashionista. He a fighter. He a fighter, bro. I would love to know Mario Bautista's whole life story. I mean, we could get that done, Mario. We could do a life story interview if you find it in your heart to forgive me for writing you off after the Umar loss. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will find it in your heart. But, I mean, if you guys want a Mario Bautista life story interview, shit, I'm going to need your guys' help with that one.
main event.
But I'm just saying, I fuck with the tats, bro. They suit him perfectly. This is Mario. I'm not going to go over it again, but I fuck with the tats, bro. Death before dishonor, battle born, straight out the gutter. I like that in fighters.
5-rounder against a tough opponent, just watching his highlight reel all week, you don't want to end up on that side. So for me to come out on top, it just feels amazing,
Yeah, I mean, you trained for 5 rounds. I mean, the narrative coming into it was he's going to come out and coming crazy, right? Who knows how long he's going to last? You're definitely going to be more patient. You can last all 5 rounds and everything. I probably know the answer to this one, but is there a little bit of disappointment that you didn't get to show that?
No, not really. If you could always get a first-round finish, that's the best. And that's that whole thing. You train hard, you have tough camp, easy fight. That idea, and that's kind of what happened tonight. And it was that game plan as well. I knew he was going to come out hot. I didn't expect for him to initiate the wrestling. That's kind of, I think, a bad game plan on his part. But I just knew that he wouldn't last, past those rounds. He would eventually gas out.
Yeah, and on that point, exactly.
I just wanted to give Mr. Andrew Nance, Mr. Member Andrew Nance, a quick shout out. Mario, a beast, bro. He definitely a beast. He definitely a beast. And then Manny saying Mario looks like a rude lesbian who's a school teacher, but he's a great fighter though. But the cut is kind of whack in my opinion. Oh, you don't like his haircut? Shit, his haircut might be better than mine at the moment, I gotta say. If I could just admit that. But shout out to Manny. I'm not gonna lie, that is funny, calling him a rude lesbian. Soda Pop says, if Delgado follows you on IG, then Mario will probably let you get an interview because he knows you're valid since Delgado follows you and you interviewed him. You know what? That's a great idea. Let's run it up, Soda Pop. Let's run it up, Soda Pop. I'm going to reach out to Mario with confidence now because if I reached out to him before you said that, I'd be not really counting on him replying. But now I got more confidence going into this one. So being that I got the relationship with Delgado already, so I'm going to reach out to Mario. I'm even going to maybe hit up Delgado and be like, yo, homie, like I hit up Mario for an interview. If you could just let him know, I'm looking to do an interview. We fuck with him over here. Maybe we could get that shit done. Great insight, Soda Pop. Soda Pop adding, I think public perception changed on Mario heavily in his last few fights. I didn't like the guy after Blackshear fight, but after Patchy performance, I became a fan. Love you, Mario. After Patchy, I was a fan. After Umar, I turned on his ass, but now I'm back. I'm back groveling, apologizing, you feel me? I fuck with Mario. I will never turn on him again. He earned my respect, like point blank period. I'll never turn on him again. Everyone likes Mario now, I think. Honestly, I think so. Andrew says, yes, sir. Thanks for membership, homie. I got you, Andrew. I think someone else gifted it to you. Not sure who, but shout out to you, homie. Keep using up them fucking stickers in the chat. Soda Pop says, Delgado was in Mario's corner, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. I did notice that. That's pretty dope, actually, that Mario's giving Delgado that rub, letting him kind of like soak in that main event spotlight atmosphere. Because, you know, of course, in the gym's eyes, they're breeding Delgado to become, you know, a Mario in the future. So it's dope to see Mario kind of like bringing on Delgado, saying, here, little bro, come over here, come corner me for my main event, not only for the benefit of me, but you can also benefit from this. You're going to be here soon. Come soak it up. When you find yourself in this position, it won't be your first time. You know, I fuck with it. Oh, yeah, you interviewed McGee too. MMA Lab rocks with you, bro. They do, Soda Pop. I'm going to hit him up. I'm going to hit up Mario. I did the interview with Marcus McGee. I did the interview with Jose Delgado. Now we need to get the big dog on. We got to get the big dog Mario on. Let's run it.
Exactly, right? Came out, initiated the wrestling. He looked like he got tired pretty early, right? And then coming in the second round, he looked like, you know, he was stumbling a little bit. There's not much to his punches. Did you feel that in there?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I wasn't sure if he was messing around and kind of like lull me into those big shots, and that's kind of what he did. But it was easy to see. You know, I think that whole thing about him being like 165 pounds or whatever, you know, to me that you're slow. You know, it makes you slow. I could see everything. I had great eyes in there. You know, all the experience I've had. You know, so yeah, I seen everything.
Yeah, and he, you know, in the finish, he was looking to scramble, try to change the position somehow. You just fought him really, really well. Is that an example of the finish coming to you?
Yeah, it's just all those transitions, you know, going from the takedowns, passing, getting into that crucifix, him giving up an arm, me going for the Kimura, you know, him kind of bailing out, jumping on his back, throwing in that rear naked. You know, it's just having all these sequences and flow, you know, in my game, and it got me to the finish.
Yeah, he grabbed that fence pretty hard in that first round, right? You were trying to take him down. He grabs the fence, and did Herb Dean say anything to him about that?
Yeah, he did. I didn't know he grabbed the fence. I thought I was like, dang, this dude's kind of hard to take down right here. But yeah, as soon as he let go of the fence, I got him down, and I just wanted to work him, you know, make him tired, gas him out. That was the whole game plan. Even got a good lift off of him too, so it was awesome.
Yeah, did he do anything that gave you any trouble? Because like I said, it seemed like a pretty clean performance.
No, on bottom he got a little like spastic, you know, kind of threw a elbow from the bottom, and there was one where I was kind of postured up. He threw a hammer fist, got me in the jaw a little bit. It did hurt. But other than that, no, his calf kicks were pretty strong. But no, nothing really surprised me except for him initiating the wrestling.
Right.
Tyler Betts saying Mario or Diego's chess piece. Now both chess pieces are good. Both chess pieces are good. I'm going to give the chess piece, though, to Diego. Dream, believe, and make it happen. I'm going to give it to Diego. Dream, believe, and make it happen. I'll give it to Diego on that one. I'll give it to Diego. I just like Mario's for him because they're just like raw as fuck. You know? It sums them up. They ain't these pretty tats. They're almost like borderline jail tats, bro. That's why I need an interview with fucking Mario. I just need it, bro. He got like the closest thing to jail tats he could get outside of jail. But I fucking love it. It's a compliment. It's a fucking compliment. I probably wouldn't even say that to him because he just roll his eyes at me. I can already tell the type of guy Mario is. He's not down for the funny business. He's gonna be like, oh God, this guy fucking, what the hell is he doing right now? But I'm gonna share my thoughts with the chat about that. All right, let's continue.
At the weigh-ins or the face-offs, it was
Manny. I will go through all your matchmaking. Yes, I got you.
He was pretty intense about it. He was right in your face. What did you say to him? I mean, I read lips, but I want to know exactly from you what he said.
No, he got close and he was like, smile while you can, and then he just got too close, and I was like, it seems like you want to kiss me. And I think I broke his character. You know, he started laughing, and then he said that he was gonna beat me worse than he did Kyler, my training partner. And then even when we faced off before our fight, he even said the same thing. He was like, "You want to kiss me now?" And I just blew him a couple kisses, before I beat him up. But yeah, it's all part of the show.
All right, man. 4-1 in your last 5. You call that Cory Sandhagen for that rematch. How different do you think that fight goes the second time?
I think it goes completely different. I've had so much more experience. That was I can't even, maybe 10, 12 fights ago. So I've had a lot of experience in that time. And he's just kind of hanging out in that spot. He just can't break that championship spot. So I think it'd make for a great fight and give me that opportunity to see where I can go.
There you go. How soon would you like that fight to happen?
If we could do it around summertime, I think that'd be nice. I just had these 2 back-to-back. This was a 5-round camp. So it'd be nice to catch up on some life in between this.
Maybe kind of cool to get that, maybe a UFC Phoenix, have that be a headliner?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be even better than Phoenix. It'd go from Abu Dhabi, Vegas, and then to Phoenix. That'd be nice.
All right, man, congratulations. Heck of a win.
Thank you.
Mario, in the middle. Congratulations. I don't know if you saw, but Song Yadong tweeted at you, called you out. Do you see that?
Who was that?
Song Yadong.
Song Yadong. Nah, I want to fight Sandhagen. Yeah, Song Yadong can just sit on that loss for a little bit.
Arguably the best part of the whole post-fight presser for Mario. I mean, Song Yadong, the whole thing was just an excellent answer.
And then my last one is, I don't know if you saw.
He can sit on that loss for a little bit. I mean, it's perfect. Slight no sell, telling him sit on the loss. Let's run it up with Cory Sandhagen.
Vinicius said afterwards that he actually broke his arm in December. I don't know how much that played a factor, but any thoughts on that?
That sucks. Leading into my Patchy fight, I popped a rib. You can kind of see it right there. And I still beat the shit out of him. So I don't care for your excuses. It's part of the game.
And I lied. I have one more just because I forgot to ask. You want Sandhagen next. You get that fight. You get the win. Is that enough for a title shot, do you think?
Definitely. Off of Sandhagen, that calls for a shot at the title, And I think I have a great style to beat the champ. I think I'd give him a run for his money. So, but I feel like I have to get past Sandhagen first. I lost my debut to him, and it would just feel weird if I passed him up on that. So I like to get that one back.
So I agree and disagree with Mr. Mario here. I guess let's go positive first. Actually, let's go negative first, then let's go positive. That way I could win over Mario if he ever watches something like this. The negative side of what I think about Mario's answer here is him saying that a win over Cory earns him a title shot. Fuck no, it doesn't. All right, fuck no, a win over Cory Sandhagen don't earn you no title shot in the Big 26. I don't know who needs to hear this, but a win over Cory Sandhagen in the Big 26 ain't getting you a fucking title shot, bro. It just ain't getting you it. All right? I'm sorry, Mario, but I'm keeping it a buck with you, homie. Just keeping it a buck. You need one more after Cory Sandhagen, and then you can get the title shot. So whoever that may be, you beat Cory, you beat one more other person, an actual contender, right, to prove that you have what it takes to beat the champion, then yes. All right. That's why I'm calling for O'Malley to beat Umar, because if you beat Umar, it proves that you have what it takes. You know what I mean? You checked off that fucking hole in your game that people are exploiting. Now, what do I agree with Mario? It's kind of a crazy catch here, because I agree that Mario is a terrible matchup for Peter Yan. I think Mario is a terrible matchup for Peter Yan. He's way bigger than him. All right, he can grapple too. He can strike as well. Super durable. I mean, Mario versus Sean O'Malley. I'd like to see a fight like that, but we also how O'Malley versus Peter went. That was a pretty close fight, right? O'Malley got the decision. There's arguments that Peter Yan should have won it, but O'Malley got the job done in a very close fight. Mario Bautista. All right, he right there. He on that echelon. He on that O'Malley echelon. He on that Peter Yan echelon. In my opinion, I mean, God forbid Mario fights O'Malley in the future and gets his ass knocked out, but I don't think that would happen. I think Mario might be better than O'Malley. I think Mario might be better than O'Malley. What you guys think? Kevin says Yan boxes him up, bud, easily. Oof. Who's a better fighter? Mario Bautista or Sean O'Malley? Teammates now. These guys are teammates unofficially because O'Malley doesn't really train at the gym. He only uses it for sparring. But honestly, genuine question. I'm actually going to put it in the chat. Yeah, teammates though, I know. Start a poll. Who wins? I mean, it's a great question. Bautista. So I got the poll up. Manny's saying O'Malley lacks the ground game, though. Yeah, and guess who got it? Mr. Mario. Soda Pop says Mario beats O'Malley. I heard O'Malley completely separated from MMA Lab and no longer spars there at all. Oh, damn, he lets no one from the lab into his sessions. Why? Why did he completely separate from them like that? He was like totally cool with all the guys like Kyler and Marcus, except for maybe Ezra Elliott. That's their boy. Space Kid said Mario crumbles him. All right, yeah, it's great analysis here. Shit, if they ain't teammates no more, run it. But no, just, going back to why I paused it, Mario thinks he gets a title shot off of beating Sandhagen. While I do want to see him fight Sandhagen next, that doesn't warrant a title shot, bro, in the Big 26. No win over Sandhagen warrants you a title shot. But it'll put you in the mix, bro. You'll be fighting a top 3 opponent if you beat Cory Sandhagen. And, you did mention that you think you match up pretty well against the champ. I agree with you. I agree. You would match up pretty well against the champ. You could give him some trouble for sure. Do I think Peter Yan's a better striker than Mario? Yes. Yes, Kevin from Chicago, okay? I'll agree with you, Kevin. Peter Yan is a better boxer, a better striker than Mario, for sure. For sure. But Mario, he like a prototype. He not great at anything, but he's good at everything. He a prototype. All right? Santino DeFranco said it on his podcast. Interesting. I'm not familiar with Santino DeFranco, Soda Pop, but I'm glad you were able to let me know that, because I would have never come across Santino DeFranco's podcast. Is that someone I should be familiar with or no? O'Malley already super rich. Those guys don't have the hunger that people like Mario have. Shit, Mario hungry. Mario a junkyard dog now. All right. Shout out to Unbroken. Let's continue this.
Congrats on the win, Mario. Obviously, you were talking when you just first got on stage about, watching his highlight reel all week, that you didn't want to be on the wrong side of it. But when we see those type of fighters, a lot is talked about, weathering a storm. Were you surprised that you didn't really have to do that, or does that attribute to how well prepared you came into this fight?
No, he's the one that kind of initiated that. With the wrestling, I thought he was going to come out swinging hard, so that's what I meant by weathering the storm. But he just got too close to me, and I was able to grab him, and I, just did my thing. That was my game plan, just wear him out. I think I'm built for 5 rounds. I do this all day. I can go all day, and just looking at him and looking at his fights, I know he just doesn't do what I do, and I knew the longer it went, the worse it'd get for him.
And it felt like it was not too long ago when people weren't necessarily on your side due to the obvious Aldo fight and all that stuff. But I feel like slowly people have been putting more respect on your name. So how's it like seeing that from the fan perspective?
It's been awesome, you know. And honestly, like if you look at the, well, that's off the Aldo fight, right? They're kind of like, you know, bagging on me for that. But if you go back 4 fights pre-Aldo and then the 3 fights post-Aldo, you see an outlier, you know. And so that, I don't know. That's his fault too. I'm not taking the blame for that. All the blame for that.
Obviously, big win. Heard you wanted a post-fight burger.
I just already had my pizza and Coke, so that's check right there. We'll get a burger next and a few other goodies.
Congrats.
I know you said you just want him to get out of here with those excuses, but I think he was saying that also that tried to throw the jab, but then it started hurting in the second round. That his team was asking for jabs and his arm wouldn't answer. Could you see anything differently in the second round, or do you think that was just more on what you were doing that maybe changed what he was hoping to do?
No, I didn't see anything different. The only thing I seen him gassing out. I seen him just laying on the bottom, you know, just kind of sitting there, me standing over him. That was kind of surprising, but yeah, that unfortunate. When
a guy gets in your face on the weigh-ins, do you enjoy that sort of stuff? When you guys got in there, he started jawing, talking, and it looked like you just sort of smiled and were laughing at the whole point. When a fighter does that fire you up, or you just, where do you go in your head when somebody starts doing that to you?
No, I think it's just something I've learned over the years, as a teenager, being young and getting in these street fights and stuff. It's all talk. You know, it doesn't matter. It's all talk to me. And once we start fighting, that's where your true colors really show and who you really are. So I don't even worry about all the talking, all the yapping, all the antics, because we'll find out if you're really about it.
And I know you said Sandhagen, the last time you guys fought was 7 years ago, 2019. How different of a fighter are you from then? And same with Cory. He's improved quite a bit as well and went through quite a lot of names. How different of fighters are you guys? Or can you look back at that fight and expect it to be anything like that? Or you guys are so different that the fight's not going to play anything out like how that one did?
No, I think I'm a completely different fighter. You know, I've had so much more experience. I had skills back then, but just being, jumped onto a main card, a pay-per-view card in New York as a young, 25-year-old kid, 6-0, it can kind of get to you a little bit, but I've gone through the experience. I've fought the big names, former champions, main event, and who knows, it could go exactly the same way, but I don't see it going that way.
You fought in the Apex before, but tonight was also your first main event. But how did it feel? How differently did it feel out there with the new crowd set up and the crowd getting loud as ever out there?
It was pretty cool, a cool experience, because I started fighting here during COVID. So it was empty when I fought here. And I would fight here, a few months later. They let a few people in, and it just kept building. I think the last time I fought here was probably about 2 years ago when I fought Ricky. And then just walking out there and seeing just the venue, how many more people they're able to fit in here. It was a cool experience, and to be able to see it throughout the fights that I've had, it was something pretty special to me.
Yeah, I think if anything, I forgot that you fought back here in the COVID time, so you literally have seen the very beginning to what it's become now. So it's got to be quite a trip to see the growth.
Yeah, and I've always had great luck here. I think I just lost one fight here, but I've always had great luck here. My buddy Bulldog would call me the Apex champ, so. It's pretty cool. I like it here.
Yeah. Soon enough, they might call you the UFC champ as well. Congrats on your victory.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Who's the next killer coming through the MMA lab right now that fans should know about?
We don't really. I mean,
we have
and it's great to
so
talk
many
about prospects, but we're good on that. We're good on that. Soda Pop says, yeah, you should know Santino. Santino was the coach of Cejudo, Tracy Cortez, etc. He cornered a lot of Asian fighters too. He has a YouTube channel where he breaks down the fights every week with his homeboy, and they have really good chemistry, so it's funny. Okay, I got you, Soda Pop. I got you. I swear, Soda Pop could be like a fucking host on this channel with how much lore he has and how much stuff he's tapped into. Could definitely be a host on this channel. Soda Pop could host like a nightly live stream himself. If you guys know, I don't know if Soda Pop's gonna like know who I'm talking about when I say this, but and this is a straight compliment. But Soda Pop could be like my Lush. You know, Adam 22, he got Lush. If you guys know Lush Uno, I feel like Soda Pop could be my Lush Uno. You know, he got a crazy knowledge, a crazy hardcore knowledge that can't be matched by many, if I may say so myself. Even the YouTube channels he's tapped in on. Good shit, good shit. Soda Pop could be my Lush Uno. Crazy work. Unbroken saying he got a slight Edgar. Mario does have a nice hairline. Mario has a nice hairline. Soda Pop says Jacob just compared himself to Adam 22 or nah. Not fully comparing myself to Adam 22. I'm just saying, you know, you could be my Lush Uno. You could be my Lush Uno. But I, you know, I fuck with Adam, but then, you know, that whole thing, like him getting his ass beat by Jason Love after letting him crack his chick twice. I mean, how much can I really stick up for the guy? All right, so, you know, one of the things that got mentioned here was
Vinicius said
the injury that Vinicius said he sustained before the fight. So here's the quote that Mario responded to at the post-fight press conference. Mario said, or Vinicius said, "So now I can tell. On December 19th, I broke my arm." He told AG Fight, "I had the option not to fight. Starting the fight, I felt fine, but started to hurt. I got tired too. The second round, they asked for jabs and my arm wouldn't answer. No sad stories though, let's move on." Instantly goes back into excuse mode. "I had a rough cut, the worst one I ever had because I couldn't train to cut the weight. I couldn't spar or hit bags with high intensity. Thanks for the support. No sad stories here." Once again, "I got beat up and finished, and I'm ready for the next one. They told me to take care of my arm for the next 180 days. So, you know, Mario, I don't give a fuck about your excuses. I don't give a fuck. And rightfully so. Now, just to wrap everything up, and then we're going to check out Joaquin Buckley. We're going to end it on Buck. But, and I know there's some beef going on in the NBA, but, you know, for another night. We'll be here all night covering all that fucking bullshit. So, I'm a hit the hay after a couple more of these topics, but over the weekend, all right, the question everybody wants to know the answer to, also the question everybody just wants to share their opinions on, which I'm more than welcome. So if you want to share your opinion on who would win between Usman and Ilya, now is the time. Now is the time. Unbroken says Perry 22. No. Nah. But if anything, I would say I didn't compare myself to Adam 22, but I maybe expressed my desire to want to have a channel kind of like his. You know, Adam got a good thing going with all the hosts on his channel. I mean, say what you want to say, but I like how Adam has like all these hosts on his channel, different like different shows. You know, you got the Adam and Whack, you got the Tuesday Pod, you got the Daily Pod ran by Lush Uno. You got who's the fat ass dude? Who's the fat ass dude? Poetic Flacco. Poetic Flacco. You know, the cast of characters. I wish I could have something like that. That's what I want on my channel. And we're going to get there. I got a cast of characters that I'm working on. But shit, Soda Pop could be cast character number 3. Yeah, I would say not comparing myself to Adam, but I wouldn't mind having a channel like his with the cast of characters like that. Oh. Usman or Ilya? All right, so yeah, everybody wants to share their opinions about this. But even before we get into the post-fight press conference, let me just give you guys the quick, it's not even anything long at all, but just figured I would tell you guys that Usman submitted Alfie Davis in round 3 via arm triangle choke at PFL Dubai. All right, Alfie Davis was the 2025 PFL tournament winner at lightweight. Usman is the man who came over from Bellator, right? And he is the reigning PFL lightweight champion. So PFL has champions, and then they also have tournament winners. So this was, for all intents and purposes, for the PFL, a super fight for them, right? The lightweight champion fighting the tournament champion winner of 2025. So that's what this was right here. And Usman submitted him via arm triangle in round 3. Now, obviously, as soon as this fight wrapped up, everybody was dropping in the comments. They were saying, Ilya beats him. Ilya beats him. No chance in hell. Usman don't stand a chance against Ilya. All right. So, I mean, this is really all we got to talk about here after the win is, can Usman beat Ilya? Now, for the record, Usman got 1 fight left on his PFL deal. All right, we all know Islam, his career is wrapping up. He got probably max 2 bouts left. If you ask me, Islam got max 2 bouts left in the UFC. Okay, so actually this conversation about Usman coming over, who wins, him or Ilya, it's a very, very viable option in the near future if you ask me. Islam got 2 fights left on his Islam, he probably got 2 fights left for his career, right? He could fight as long as he wants, but I think Islam got 2 fights left for his career. Usman, 1 fight left on his PFL deal. Also, Usman fights at 155. Ilya fights at 155. He's the reigning UFC lightweight champion. I mean, let's get this fight going in the near future. Please, take my money now. Although a lot of you guys, let me just say this last thing too before we get into it. A lot of you guys, you think that Usman, right, stands no chance against Ilya. And for me, I just want to see it. I think Usman at least stands a chance. Personally, I think Usman at least stands a chance. So I don't even know why some of you guys are saying like, Usman doesn't stand a chance. But maybe I do know why some of you guys are saying that. And I can understand where you guys are coming from if this is the case. Maybe you guys who are saying that are coming from a perspective where it's like, I see the holes in Usman, right? I see him getting pieced up by lesser than strikers, and there's just no way that he beats Ilya. And you're more so just trying to inform people than, kind of like hate on Usman. So if you guys are more so like, listen, I just see it. Like I see the flaws in Usman's game. He's not who he claims he is. I'm basically saying like, I'm spotting a duck, right? If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then it's a duck. So maybe some of you guys who are saying Usman doesn't stand a chance, you're coming from a perspective of being like, I've just identified a duck, bro. And I do get that. So if that's where you guys are coming from, then shit, maybe I just haven't seen it yet. Because truth be told, I think it would be a close fight. I don't think Ilya just walks through Usman, right? And I want to see it. I want to see it to see the result. But I don't know. There could also be a narrative where all you guys who kind of see Ilya destroying Usman, you're going to be like, I told you so. It wasn't even worth watching. And I guess we'll have to find out. I guess we'll just have to fucking find out. But with all that being said, Usman Nurmagomedov is asked how a fight between him and Ilya Topuria / Arman Tsarukyan would play out right now. Quote, the preparation would have been entirely different, but the result would have been the same. Unlike Arman, I don't have a loss. So let's take a look. Let's hear it. I might have to read you guys the subtitles so I can do that for you. I'm going to take myself off the screen so you can read it.
Сейчас сразу же в комментариях после твоей победы
Right after your win, people started comparing you to Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan.
Разумеется, люди начали сравнивать тебя с чемпионом UFC Топурией, с претендентом Царукяном. Вот как ты считаешь, если бы они были напротив тебя
If they were in front of you in the cage right now,
в клетке, как сейчас
how do you think those fights would end given your current form?
закончился бы поединок с ними, учитывая, в какой форме ты сейчас находишься?
В первую очередь,
Firstly, the preparation for them would be completely different.
подготовка к ним была бы абсолютно другой, потому что это
They're fighters of a different skill level in terms of skill.
совершенно разные бойцы по уровню, например, если
For example, Arman both wrestles and strikes,
с Арманом сравнивать, то Арман борется, бьет, так что
so the preparation would have been entirely different.
подготовка была бы абсолютно, полностью другой, но результат был бы
But the result would have been the same.
тот же.
Еще в продолжение темы,
You just choked out Davis, Arman Tsarukyan choked out Dan Hooker.
получается, вот ты сейчас ярко задушил Альфи Дэвиса, Арман Царукян задушил Дэна Хукера. Как считаешь,
Who has better grappling? Who do you think has better grappling and submissions, you or Arman?
у кого именно вот грэпплинг, сабмишины лучше у тебя или у Армана?
Но у меня, в отличие от Армана,
Well, unlike Arman, I don't have a loss. Ooh.
проигрыша нет.
I mean, come on, Usman, he confident as fuck, bro. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. When a guy carries an air of invincibility, when he carries an O behind his name, I don't care if he's a duck. I need to see it. I need to see it for myself. And honestly, I need one of their egos to be destroyed forever. All right? There can only be one fucking Highlander. There can only be one fucking Highlander. And listen, Arman got his ego fully intact right now, even though Arman been lost in the past. But most importantly, Ilia got a full-on ego, undefeated, two-division champion. Usman got a full-on ego, undefeated Bellator champion. Someone's ego has got to go. Someone's ego has got to be destroyed. Someone's ego has got to be destroyed, and they need to go away forever with the loss. No, I'm playing about that last part. But seriously, I want to see somebody's ego destroyed here. There can only be one fucking Highlander. All right? And nothing's better than two guys who think they're completely invincible / bulletproof going into a fight carrying O's? Carrying O's, bro? There can only be one fucking Highlander. Usman versus Ilia, I want to see it, bro. Call me crazy, but I want to see it. All right, now before we get into the last video of the night, shout out to everybody who's been watching. Shit, I'm back on the screen. Sorry about that. All right, shout out to everybody who's been watching. Before we get into the last video of the night, let me read a few chats. What beef, the Jeff Teague beef or all the NBA fights today? Oh, all the NBA fights today. Soda Pop. I think it was what, like the Pelicans got in a fight on the court. Cupcake says Ilia sleeps Usman. Got you. See, right now, the Ilia Usman debate is 57%. Ilia wins. So, I mean, it's pretty close to 50-50. Keep voting that up, though. I'm very curious. Tyler Betts says, who was the other guy that voted? O'Malley? Shit, I don't know. Okay, look, or Cupcake saying Ilia sleeps Usman, and I love Usman. Honestly, if you want me to pick who wins, I think Ilia wins. Do I think it's like a complete like walkthrough? No. I think it'd be close for a little bit. Soda Pop says, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I never seen Adam 22, so I got no idea what you're talking about. LMAO. Oh, no worries. No worries, Soda Pop. No worries. Lush is just kind of like a Lush is kind of just like a, for lack of a better word, like a savant. So I'm gonna give you just a quick rundown. No Jumper is a hip hop platform, right? And Lush is like a hip hop savant. He's a hip hop savant. He knows everything. He knows the little things, right? The little things that kind of prove you're hardcore, just like how you know fucking Tracy Cortez and Henry Cejudo's coach that I never heard of. You know, that's basically Lush. So that's why I called you Lush, because for me, or for like now I'm gonna guess be comparing myself to Adam, but not really. But for me or like Adam, we're as the heads of the platform, we're looking at the bigger stories, the more stories that are gonna bring in more viewership, right? So it kind of like as a byproduct of that, we're not able to focus as much on like the lower tier stuff, which is where Lush comes into play, because Lush is able to fill him in on like that lower tier stuff that he doesn't have time to look into, because he's too busy looking at some of the bigger stuff to bring in numbers for the channel. And Soda Pop, I mean, you're always the one who's kind of like informing me about the lower tier stuff that I'm kind of like can't be bothered with. But it's always good info that you're bringing in, telling me about Ty Miller, telling me about Alvidrez, telling me about, I think you even told me about Jose Miguel Delgado, homie. So these are where like, Lush Uno comes in for Adam 22, But anyway, that's just a quick explanation with that. We watch very different stuff. LOL, definitely do. Definitely do. Andrew says you're not missing anything, Soda Pop. You're not missing much, homie. You're not missing much. Great fight, Ilya versus Usman, homie. I think it'd be a great fight, Andrew. I think it'd be a great fight. Hornets and Pistons got in a fight last night. I was watching. Yeah, there's some fight on that just happened. This one right here, Pistons and Hornets.
Clearly, fouling is not a problem for a good defensive team. And Duran is fouled. Upset. Musa's really upset.
I'm going to turn off the commentary, but you guys can watch the little fight real quick. Then we're going to get into the Joaquin Buckley calling out the welterweight division, and then we're going to end the show. Turned out to be quite a long show tonight. Friendly reminder, once again, run up the likes for the one time. One more time, everybody watching, run up the likes if you haven't liked the video yet. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. HT says Usman's body. Okay, so that's over with. HT says Usman's body breaks down fast when he gets tired. I noticed that. So he gives his opponent an illegal strike to the groin so he can get a reset to recover. Damn. Classic MMA shit, HT. That's classic MMA shit. Why am I not surprised? Obviously, he'll never admit to that, right, HT? But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Hey, don't mess with Isaiah Stewart. He crazy. I saw he got kicked out for this. Isaiah Stewart could be an MMA fighter. He liked that. Shit. Tell him come on over. Bring him over. Him and who's the guy from the NFL, Max Crosby, who Dana says could be a UFC heavyweight champion. Bring him over. Let's see if they really like that. All right, so, Joaquin, he posted on his live today. He called out the welterweight division once again for being inactive. Here's what he captioned the post. Here's what he said. 170 division is the hottest division in the sport, and somehow it's at a standstill. Everybody got motion, but nobody moving. Meanwhile, the belt ain't moving. The rankings ain't clearing up except for getting rid of Shavkat, and now the fans stuck waiting. The truth is, ? The division don't have a talent problem. It's a decision problem. I mean, let's hear what Buck got to say.
So if I can get anybody active, I say JDM. Me and JDM would be good money, right? And it ain't because of where he placed on the right as number one, but I think that me and JDM just stylistically, bro, we just it's fireworks, right? And I'm sure because of what we both went through, right, getting held down for damn near 5 rounds. Well, me 4 rounds, him 5 rounds, and him almost crying right in the middle of the octagon. I think we'll be good work, right? And we'll be satisfied with the work that we put on, once we fight each other. So. That's what I'm looking at. Me and JDM. Me and Jack Della Madalena. Yes, sir. Please stop asking me that question when I'm fighting. I don't know, y'all. I'm working towards something. Obviously we got to be patient. But right now the division don't stand still. Like, it's crazy. I ain't. Hey, look. The matchmakers know their job. They know better than me what they doing. But right now they got the hottest division and ain't nobody fighting. You got Islam out there playing wrestle ball. You got Pratez out there partying and clubbing. You got Morales out there twerking and twirling. You got JDM still at the house crying. You got Leon missing again. You got Bilal trying to sell war meals. You got Ian Gary watching in the corner. Boy, I don't know what's going on. Like, what's going on with the welterweight division? We got to get things active. Come on now. It's the truth. But yeah, y'all laughing. These ain't jokes. These ain't jokes, man. This shit real. I'm ready to see, what we capable of doing, man, 2026. Because right now, we all wasting time. Every single person that's at the welterweight division wasting. And then, and Shavkat gone. And Shavkat knocked out the rankings. This is active, though. If I can get anybody active, I say Jay.
Honestly, I mean, you guys are going to see in the unreleased interview with Joaquin Buckley. You guys are going to see in the unreleased interview with Joaquin Buckley, there's another option. There's an option Z. There's an option Z to all this to get Joaquin active. I'm going to spoil the interview. You guys can see it when it comes out. I'm going to give you guys a little something to look out for. And I've already told some of you guys this, but Joaquin wants to fight Yaroslav Amosov, the new Bellator signee who just came in and finished Neil Magny. Joaquin Buckley down to run it with him. None of these boys want to get active. Joaquin Buckley will run it with Yaroslav Amosov. You heard it here first. All right. Joaquin will straight run it with Yaroslav Amosov. Space Kid saying members only. The unreleased interview with Joaquin Buckley is dropping on members only first. I'll let you guys know when it drops on members only. Hasn't been on there yet, but the full interview dropping members only before anything else. But that's a little secret for you guys. Joaquin straight called out Yaroslav Amosov in our unreleased interview. He's down to run it. So that would be a good one too. But Franklin saying, haha, right, wow, haha, for real, homie watching. Shout out Ian Gary. Space Kid says, watching in the corner, crying, laughing. You already know where Ian's sitting. Cue the cuck chair. I'm playing. Shout out to Ian Gary. I respect Ian, but we just got to joke about Ian from time to time. Andrew says, leaked the call out. Shit. Breaking news, Joaquin Buckley wants to fight Yaroslav Amosov. I just leaked it. It's finna be released in an interview. Tomorrow I'm gonna edit the interview. I've been behind, but shit, we getting caught up on things. I need a fucking editor, bro. I need an editor from the Philippines so I could pay like $1 an hour. Anyway, I'll see you boys tomorrow. That's the stream for the evening. Buck cooking. Shout out Andrew. Shout out all the members. All right. Shout out all the members. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me shout out the streets for the one time, but also let me end the poll. So it looks like you guys are voting on Ilya to beat Usman. I'll actually vote on it too, because I think Ilya beats Usman. I don't think it's, a walkthrough, but I think he beats him. W show homie, my man. I appreciate it, Andrew. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. Oh, and real quick, before I shout out the streets, I want to give another sincere and genuine thank you to everyone who watches, everyone who supports. All right. A sincere and genuine thank you. All right. It means a lot to me having your guys' support. So I just want to convey that for the one time. All right. Can never be said enough. And Franklin, thank you for the $50 dono, homie, once again. Special thank you once again to Franklin. All right. Shout out Andrew Nance. Shout out Franklin. Shout out Space Kid. Shout out Soda Pop. Shout out HT. Shout out Uwe Yiko. Shout out Cupcake. Shout out Tyler Betts. Shout out Manny Marin. Oh, wait. We got to read Manny's matchmaking real quick. Manny, I won't do you dirty. Let me read that. Shout out Kevin, though, from Chicago. All right, let's do this real quick. Okay, let's do this real quick. Manny wants to cook up matchups at 155. He says Armand versus the winner of Max and Charles. All right, but why not Armand versus BSD? Why not Armand versus BSD? So Armand versus winner of Max and Charles, Justin versus Ilya. He says he doesn't want it, but looks like the next one, so fuck it. Definitely gonna be the next one. And then Patty versus BSD. Patty coming off the loss, BSD coming off the win. I think BSD versus Armand makes more sense, Manny. Call me crazy, bro. Call me crazy. Manny says Armand versus Volk is stupid as fuck. I agree, Armand versus Volk kind of stupid. Not that it wouldn't be like a fight that would be, decent to watch, but it just messes everything up, It just messes things up. It log jams things. Manny's saying 145 kind of tricky in my opinion. Top two guys deserving of the title shot fighting each other. Then we got Lopez and Silva who already fought each other. Allen is good, but gotta fight someone below now. So what, Lopez versus Silva 2, Manny? You want Lopez versus Silva 2 or what? Top two guys are fighting each other. Yeah, Volk gonna fight the winner of that. Now you got Lopez and Silva, You run that back or what you do with that? I think no. Maybe a Lopez versus Brennan Allen. Diego Lopez versus Brennan Allen sounds good to me. All right, Manny says, now let me cook at 35. Marav versus Yan. Okay. Sugar versus Cory. Cut Umar from UFC. All right, Manny. I got you, homie. Cut Umar from UFC is fucking too good. I'll disagree with you, Manny, and say, I'd like to see Sugar versus Umar in a perfect world, bro. I'd like to see Sugar versus Umar, and I think Mario versus Cory makes a lot of sense for the rematch. Marav versus Yan, yes, for the instant rematch as well. Trilogy. All right, last one. Manny, let me fix light heavyweight. Pereira versus Jones. Alex sleeps Jones. Trust. People say he's not good at grappling. Then why no one submit him yet? Yuri versus Carlos. Okay. Pereira versus Jones. Although that'll probably take place at heavyweight, Manny. But Pereira versus Jones, all right, not bad. I mean, I'm very down to see it. You got the most accomplished fighter of all time in John Jones versus Alex Pereira going for history. Actually, no, he wouldn't be going for history because Jones ain't the fucking heavyweight champ anymore, that dumbass. I'd still be down to see it, though. At heavyweight. Yuri versus Carlos, I mean, if Carlos isn't scary, I think Carlos is scary, though, Manny. I don't think Carlos is taking it. It would have already been announced, probably. We'll see. My prediction on that one is Carlos is scary. Should it happen? Yeah. It should have been happened, too. But Carlos been scary for a minute. All right, boys. So that's going to be the stream of the evening. I'm going to finish shouting out some people. MMA Rio, Kevin, Andrew, Hawk. Hawk was dropping in the chat for the one time. Shout out to Hawk. Shout out to Jew. Shout out to Dundaughter. Dundaughter was in this bitch. And, Dundaughter, sorry, homie. I'm sorry I promised you a Memby. I didn't realize I couldn't choose who I buy them for. That's literally lame as fuck. But yeah, shout out to everybody. That's pretty much everybody. Chain Firing Mech Warrior, shout out to you, homie. All right. Peace out, everybody. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.